aptitude, expertise, genius, gift.
I'm the fucking talent. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. I think we all know this is an emergency. I think I don't even know what to do here. I think you know what's going on. There's so much information, misinformation flying at us from everywhere. And we're not sure what's real and what isn't. We're home. You know, I live in a place where they've told us we can't go outside. And the people at the very top of this are at best swimming as fast as they can, at worst directly lying to us because they don't want to deal with what's to come. What if I did the whole show like that? Holy shit, how fucking terrible would that be? You know? Look, man, it's serious. We know it's fucking serious. It's bananas and strange and weird and who the fuck knows what's going on. But I bring that to you because I actually, my friend Dave Anthony, he tweeted out Michael Moore's podcast. Now, look, I like Michael Moore. I don't have anything against the guy. Pets or meat, of course, is a big deal for me. As you know, in my life, I've always often thought of myself as a pets or meat guy. What if I did? I don't think of myself as that guy at all. I don't even remember what was the movie he did? It was Roger and Me. That's what it was. I remember Roger and Me. I remember Columbine 411 or whatever the fuck. And he's a guy at the forefront of whatever the fuck. And because he's on my side, I tend to believe him. You know, the other side has their grifters that gin up a lot of controversy and a lot of people being upset. And he does the same thing on my side. But holy fuck, man. Dave told me, he's like, he didn't tell me, he told his fucking audience, please, it's not like I'm talking to Dave Anthony every day. I don't want to make it seem like I'm his confidant. I got a bat phone that goes right to Anthony. Hold on a second. Hey, hello. Is there a surly jag off there who hates everything? I'll hold. And surly Jagoff who hates that could be anybody that I know, quite frankly. Now that you think, it could be me. I could have called myself at that point. So he tweeted the other day that everybody in the world needs to listen to Michael Moore's podcast. And again, I trust Dave. I find myself dovetailing, but here's the thing. I don't. I will tell you this. I believe. I think I believe a lot of the same things Dave believes. But also, I always say I have no hope, or I have this or whatever the fuck. But but it's still strange to me to think that everything's ending. Isn't it strange to you? Don't you still have this weird thing where you're like, well, okay, in a week everything's going to be okay, or something's going to happen? It's I walk this strange line between I grew up in a world where we would be hit hard with things, and then like 5 days later, or however many days later, things would straighten out and things would be fine. Like I genuinely thought 9/11 was going to change the world. I really did. Like when it happened, I was like, man, this is it. Things will never be the same again. I remember even like a couple days or a week after, I wrote 7 days ago, 18 men stole 4 planes, smashing them into the tallest buildings in New York City, into the Pentagon, and tried to get to the White House. And things will never be the same again. And that lasted what? 5 months? You know what I mean? A lot of people were like jingoistic and like, let's fucking do this crazy shit. And then Bush threw out the first pitch of the World Series and everybody went crazy. And now I still got to take my shoes off at the airport sometimes, except now they found a way to monetize that so I can keep my shoes on because I paid a certain amount for 5 fucking years. Whatever. Nothing changed, man. The only thing that changed was we allowed them into our homes and our devices to spy on us and see us and look at us a lot more closely under the guise of protecting us in some way. So I don't know what to make of this that's going on. I truly don't. So anyway, David is David, Mexican David, my buddy Dave, Mex. David is my buddy. He hates being called Dave. See, that's a fucking thing. All right, it's David, but Dave Anthony. He's not David Anthony. I don't know what the fuck. So and by the way, Dave Anthony is not Mex. There's nothing Mexican about that dude. So he tweeted, he's like, hey man, everybody in the world should listen to this Michael Moore podcast. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I threw it on, and look, boy, that you got to know that how much of a fucking chore that is for me, because I don't even listen to my fucking show, which I think you probably know as you listen to it every week, and you're like, he didn't fucking hear that? No, I didn't. It came out of my fucking mouth and I left it. This show's unvarnished. Here's how I like to have, and that's a nice way of saying I don't do any work on it when it's finished. I fucking build it and I throw it out the fucking door right at you. I just pack it up. I don't know what the fuck. You know what? There could be some coronavirus stuck to the fucking audio on this. I don't know. If it enters through your ears, you can blame me. I don't know how you want to handle that. Can you hear me fighting off yawns while I'm trying to talk? What a fucking weirdo. So I don't listen to fucking shows. I just don't. I mean, I listen to music and I listen to sometimes old-timey radio. But I don't listen to podcasts. I just don't. And I don't mean to be mean. I haven't listened to my Rock Solids. I haven't listened to fucking anything that I'm in. In the old days, I did. Dude, in the old days, I would listen to this fucking show. I would do it. And then a week later, like I would record it with Lily on Tuesdays. And on Monday, I would listen to the show at Graveyardville just so I didn't repeat the same shit that I talked about because I had no confidence in my brain. Now, I guess look, here's the thing. I don't know if I have any more confidence in my brain. I think maybe I've just decided I don't worry about it. If I fucking repeat myself, then you guys will be very kind. Maybe that's the thing. He's a doddering old man now. I mean, he doesn't realize that he's talked about this for 4 weeks in a row. What if I did? So again, Dave's like, hey man, listen to this. Everybody in the fucking world needs to listen to this. And it's fucking Michael Moore's podcast. And it's called the Rumble Podcast. And from the emergency podcast system, whatever the fuck pretentious, important shit he's got going on. And it literally starts out, he's like, this is an emergency, and I know you know it. And millions are going to die. And it's 7 a.m. in New York, and I couldn't sleep because I knew I had to do this show. I had to be the one to bring you oh my God, shut up, shut the fuck up. And that's the thing. I'm even doing it with more passion than he did. He's literally, it's just the first 10 minutes are just, for me, maybe not for you, you might love it, but for me, a chore of listening to a guy try to sound important and serious, even though he's probably just being important and serious. Maybe that's the kind of guy he is. Maybe this really does affect him in that way. I don't know. I'm not saying he's a phony. I'm not saying he was putting anything on. If anything, you're probably thinking I put this on because of the way I talk. I mean, do I talk to this 24 hours a fucking day? No, but that's the thing. Here's the difference. I know I'm doing a fucking show. I want you to listen to a goddamn show. Michael Moore does his and look, we all know the tricks of the trade. I'm a broadcaster. I know how to use my voice. I know how to bring it down here if I want you to listen really intensely to something that I'm going to say. But also I talk like this half the fucking time. And by half the time, I mean fucking 9/8 of the time. That's right. I go crazy over the fraction. I go integer on you guys. Did I? I don't know what integers are. I took math once. But sure enough, fucking Michael Moore, he just, 7 o'clock a.m. in New York. I have an interview later today with MSNBC, and oh my God, shut up. Yeah, okay. And then he proceeds to tell you that millions are going to die and how we're being lied to and the virus is spreading and it's killing everybody and all these things. And like I said, the first 10 minutes is a slog. The next, 45 minutes, I was very happy I listened to it because I thought there was a lot of very interesting information in it. And it changed for me because I guess maybe I came down to his level and I was like, all right, well, he's going to do this like Christian Slater in a basement somewhere trying to be a pirate radio guy. Good for him. That's fine. I guess that's my beef. And it sounds stupid. If you're putting on a show, because it is a show, essentially, even though podcasting is us just sitting at a fucking desk in our house, it's still a goddamn show and you want to get people to fucking listen to you. So you got to have a little juice to it. But his juice was 7 o'clock a.m. If you listen outside, you can hear the germs moving. Shh. Germs mobilizing, coming for us. Soon germs will be squeezing in under the small cracks underneath all of your doors. As you sleep, you should wear a mask. Wear a mask, please. Oh my God, shut up. Shut up. There's no way. But that's what he did. So for 10 minutes, it's just kind of like, oh my Christ. And then for the next 45. But here's another thing. Like I say, when I talk about how I have issues right now with the way things are, do I believe we're being lied to? Yes. Do I think that they're fucking... I mean, we were lied to for a very long time, and now they're scrambling because they don't know what the fuck to do because they lied to us for so long and it didn't go away. They were doing that thing where, here's, how do I put this? This is what carnies do. This is what guys at carnivals do. They'll fucking lie to you because they know they're only in town for 3 days. Then like the fourth day, you come back looking to get your money back or whatever the fuck, or some, magician who did the linking ring trick, or some milk bottle you couldn't knock off because there was a fucking stone in it. And you come back and you're like, hey man, I'm trying to get your cash back, and it's just a fucking mud puddle. Like there's no fucking elephants or any trailers. The Ferris wheel's gone, and you're not getting your $18 back. That's it. You got beat, and you got to fucking eat that. And that's what these guys are doing, man. They just lied about the bullshit, for fucking months. These idiots are like, oh yeah, no, it's a hoax. Nah, it's Democrats. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get into it, but somebody I know on fucking Facebook kept calling it impeachment with germs. Like that's what I'm just like, Jesus fuck. Do you not see that in Italy, there's the military is driving coffins out under the darkness of night, under the cover of night, so people don't freak out at how many people are dying over there. But then there's always some pivot. The goalposts, all of these goalposts are on fucking wheels on both sides. You know what I mean? That's the deal. It's just. I talked about this last week, and look, I know you're probably like, well, Mike, why are you talking about it this week? Well, I don't know. Isn't it not the dominant fucking theme of the world right now? I mean, that's the thing. It's not even like my life, because this show's about my life, all right? Essentially my life. And I thought to myself, I'm like, well, people don't want to hear about this shit because they're hearing about it all over the goddamn place. I'm trying to be a distraction. I'm trying to be that guy. But at the same time, this has taken us over. This is, right now, I would say that this is the dominant story of my lifetime. If it becomes what they think it's going to become, then this is, it could be the dominant story of my death time. Who the fuck knows? I'm 52 and fat. I could fucking suck this in and go ahead and choke out right during this fucking broadcast. Who the fuck knows, man? My lungs could fill up with fucking mucus and whatever the fuck else, and I could choke myself out right here. The last thing I'll do, though, is I'll press send. Although that's not how this works. I got to fucking put it in a goddamn server. See? It's what these communists want me to do. They want to use a fucking web host or whatever the fuck. I should be able to just hit this and just fucking push a button, and then you guys get it. I have to drink some water. Oh, man. And I'm drinking tap water because there's no fucking bottled water anymore, because there's nothing. Because I go to the fucking store and it's still like, I'll tell you about that in a second. But anyway, so Dave Anthony's like fucking Michael Moore. Listen to this. And here's the thing. Like I said, I respect Michael Moore. I think he's a bit of a carnival barker, but at the same time, I think he has good information. I think his heart's in the right place because, again, I believe in him and his causes. If you're somebody who supports the administration or somebody else, you're like, Michael Moore's a fat fuck and he lies about rabbits or whatever the fuck. And you're like, all right, cool. I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you that Michael Moore's a fucking genius or that you should believe everything he fucking says. But at the same time, I listened to his show, in the last 45 minutes of it, I found very enlightening, and I felt like I could believe what he was saying, except for these things. There's another thing. He comes at you with this. He tells some story, and again, I could be fucking chili dipping this, and I apologize, but it was something like, he was saying that he gets calls from people, he knows people in the administration, like people who are actually working on the inside, and he said these people have called him and told him that there's been discussion of removing Trump, like possibly even arresting him for what's going on, but right now that they think the country's too destabilized or something. I don't know, I didn't listen very closely, but it was something like that, where he was basically saying that he had sources who were in the know, who were behind the scenes, who were telling him that they're all discussing what to do and how to get Trump out of there. And whatever. I don't, that's the thing is, I don't fucking believe that as far as I can fucking throw it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't, because I firmly believe that everybody that surrounds this motherfucker has formed this ridiculous insular cocoon of, oh my God, your dick's so big and you're the best. That's why we're in this fucking mess. He's acted like a fuckhead forever, and everybody's just like, oh, you're so smart. You know what I mean? It's just like, whatever. And again, Michael Moore's not he's not the troubadour you want to fucking trust in. I get it. He's got a fucking army jacket on. He's got a big fucking baseball hat on, big fat head, giant, horn-rimmed glasses, or the fuck, or tortoiseshell, whatever. Maybe he's not your guy. Maybe you think he's duplicitous and a liar. And again, don't send me some email where you're like, well, Michael Moore lied about this, and this happened too. And I don't give a fuck. All right, everybody, because that's the point. I don't know what the fuck to do here, man. I don't know. I don't want to believe this fucking guy or this fucking guy. And we all have inherent biases. Everybody believes what the fuck they believe. They all get the same thing fucking in their head, and they're looking for the person to be their confirmation bias person. If you believe this guy's doing a good job, then you're like, all right, yeah, no, check it out, man. The Washington Examiner says that he's the best. Like, what drives me crazy is when people just try to ostensibly erase facts. And they're like, hey, Snopes is a left-wing website. It's already been debunked many times. No, it isn't. It hasn't. What are you talking about? These are lies. No, I trust me. I saw it at theblaze.com. You're like, okay, well, Foolish me. I didn't realize you were delving deep into the blaze.com and going through that swamp and getting your news. But then the same thing can be said for the Daily Beast or whoever the fuck. Yeah, I mean, I get it. That's the thing. Yeah, but there's facts. There's such a thing as facts. Whatever. See, this is the thing I didn't want it to turn into. I didn't want it to turn into some partisan bullshit because we're all scared as fuck. And look, you can say you're not scared, and that's fine. Look, because I'm not scared, like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm not that fucking scared. But I have to admit, this is not resolving itself in any hasty way. It's not fixing itself. There's no U-turn ahead where the ship's going to get righted and everything's going to be fine. At least not anytime in the near future. You know, everything they're talking about flattening the curve and stay home and don't talk to anybody. It's which is all good advice. You know, again, that's the thing we have to do. But then you read this thing where they're like, well, we could be at peak virus in like 2 weeks, or we could be at peak virus in 3 months, or, you know, we could all die. Everything could be over. There could be a tumbleweed blowing around, and who the fuck knows? That's the thing that freaks you out. It freaks everybody out, man, because you see this shit happen, and you're like, I don't know what the fuck to do. And like, I'm lucky. I'm just me. You know what I mean? I don't have any kids or any fucking dogs or anything like that to fucking worry about. Although dogs and cats don't get it, which I think is, oh my God, thank you, diseases. Thank you, Jesus Christ, or whoever built this fucking perfect virus that doesn't kill dogs or cats. Let them run the planet. Let us all fucking inhale a goddamn handful of these spores and pass the fuck out, and let all the good boys and good cats eat us. That's it. That's what we should do. You know, if dinosaurs can't come back and fuck us up, and they want to, don't think they don't. Don't think that the Jurassic Park movies have not given some sort of fucking fossil that's buried in India somewhere the thought that possibly his DNA could be used to bring back the fucking dinosaurs and kill this planet for what the fuck we did to them. And I know you're going to be like, oh, well, hey, Jesus sent a comet. Well, yeah, Jesus in every book I've seen is a dude. Like, if Jesus was like a fucking kangaroo, then, you know, dinosaurs come back, they fuck the kangaroos up and we're okay. You know what? That's fine. If Jesus was a kangaroo, the fucking dinosaurs come back, they're like, fuck you, kangaroos. And then they kill all the kangaroos, who, by the way, are part dinosaur anyway. And by the way, how much do you pay to watch a kangaroo fight a dinosaur? Holy fuck. I got to give everything I got, which, by the way, at this point is not much. And we'll talk about that later. But still, I might get a fucking, I would work 2 jobs. I'm going to tell you this. If you told me in 6 months you had a fight and it was a legitimate fucking dinosaur, I don't know what kind though. You can't have like a stegosaurus. It's too big. And velociraptors are fucking mean, right? But they're like the same size. But kangaroos are fucking mean. We've talked about that before. Kangaroos are all swole and weightlifty. So man, what the fuck? Who would I can't think of a good dinosaur. Like a velociraptor, but with no teeth. How about that? But he's got claws, though. He'd still, you know, a kangaroo's got claws. And that kitten's got claws. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Kangaroo dinosaur fight? Dude, I would fucking be front row for that shit. I would hope their blood sprayed me in the face so I got some sort of rabid kangaroo / velociraptor genome and it mutated me into a goddamn fighting machine. I'd go off and fuck people up kangaroo style. That'd be perfect. Or velociraptor style, or velocirooster style. A rooster, raptor, because I say roo for roo, but rooster sounds bad. Velociraptor, kangaraptor. Kangaraptor is better than velociraptor. Velociraptor. There you go. Hey, I like that. Let me ask you, velociraptor or kangaraptor? You guys can vote there. I mean, yeah, that's the name of the show. Hold on a second. Let me write that down. There you go. Look at me writing that number down so I know that's the name of the goddamn show. But that's the thing, you know, somewhere there's some dinosaur who's ready. He's just a fucking fossil in the ground waiting to be turned into DNA so they can fuck us up for whatever the fuck we did to them. Because that's going to happen. Didn't we do it? Adults did it, or grown-ups did it, or fucking humans did it. I know there was a Big Bang or a comet or some bullshit, but I mean, if there was a comet and it smashed into the Earth, a meteor, and it killed all the dinosaurs, how the fuck did we show up? How did a monkey show up, and then a fish came out of the fucking ocean, and then fucking there was the Scopes trial, and the next thing you know, we're here fucking each other up with a handful of goddamn germs. Jesus, what a mess. What have we done to this fucking place? Fucking killing the Arctic shelf and inhaling all these old germs. That's another thing, too. I talked about it last week, where people are just like, well, this virus is, you know, it's possibly from China. No, fuck you, man. This thing came from Antarctica. That's where it came from. Right now, it's like 71 degrees in Antarctica. Fuck, I talked about it last week. The fucking thing. You guys saw this? I gotta quit repeating myself. Jesus, fuck. Let me tell you guys, the planet is having a reckoning, and all of us are at its mercy. You can be in your bed, you can be in your couch, you can be in your living room, you can be in your goddamn kitchen, but you look out the window and you see it coming for you, and you recognize Viewed through the prism of the corona of the sun, the heat death of the universe is imminent. Shut up, Michael Moore. Holy God. Why? Again, that thing where I have people inside the administration who have told me they're thinking of arresting Trump. Shut the fuck up. Stop. That's another thing I'm so tired of. I'm tired of people with I've got this possible factor. Like when everybody was writing, didn't Anonymous write a book? Some bunch of anonymous assholes wrote a book about what's really going on in the Trump White House. And that was news for 9 minutes and then it went away. It's just like, Jesus, fuck. Don't believe anybody anymore about anything ever. Believe me, I'm the only guy you can believe because I do a fucking show telling you I don't know a fucking thing. That's it. I don't have opinions that you can follow. I don't have anything where I expect you to rally behind me. I'm not going to get 10 of my friends and sing Imagine on a fucking video. Holy fuck. Did you see that piece of garbage? What are you doing? Celebrities hiding in their fucking homes and then putting together a video of them singing Imagine. And look, fuck celebrities. I didn't even give a fuck with celebrities. If it was anybody, if it was people or dogs or whatever. Well, dogs, actually, I go back on that. Dogs, fine. If you want to bark Imagine, I'm all over fucking dogs doing that. Dogs can do no fucking wrong as far as I'm concerned. And again, like I said, I can only hope that this virus kills us all in our tracks and the dogs get to eat us because they don't die. That is a noble end for this experiment. That's a noble end for this fucking planet. I would love to be chomped up by a goddamn fucking dog. Go ahead and chew me up and spit me the fuck out. Actually, don't spit me out. Swallow me. I'm good. Swallow me. This is good meat. It's probably stringy at 52. So I don't even fucking know. I'm not a guy who's going to try. Like I said, I'm not trying to trick you to believe me. I don't give a fuck if you're on my side or you're not. I try to do the funniest, best show I can, but also at the same fucking time, I'm spitting out a bunch of shit that goes in my head. And I know you guys don't want to fucking hear the coronavirus because that's all we hear. It's all we fucking hear. And I'll tell you, it's just, God, celebs singing Imagine. I saw it on fucking Twitter. I'm like, you're kidding me. And it's not even singers. It's like fucking Jimmy Fallon. And Wonder Woman and shit like that. And what a bunch of fucking hooey. That's right. I got to go back to 1927 and drop that ass on you. Yeah, fucking hooey is what it was. You sit around, you singing to your fucking cell phones. Oh, you know what? We're going to bring the country together when Wonder Woman and Jimmy Fallon do a fucking song. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus Christ. That and Chrissy Teigen talking about how bored she is at home. Oh, are you bored? Are you in your mansion to the sky? Literally, you can step out into a balcony and touch the moon. That's how rich you are. John Legend's your husband. Have him write 10 songs and sing them all to you. Whatever the fuck. Quit telling me how bored you are in your fucking house. I don't know, man. That's the thing. I know some of you are really worried, and I don't blame you. Because I have those moments, man, where I get really worried and I don't know what the fuck to think. I lost my mind in a fucking store the other day. Finally. I mean, I'm sure you guys have been going, well, I've been waiting for this shit to happen. Well, it finally fucking did on the most unlikely of sources. Brace yourselves for this fucking story. I'm losing money left and right. We're all losing money left and right. This is not even a fucking joke. Well, I'll get to that in a second. But I had to pick up my brother from the airport. Lenny comes to town. And Lenny's fucked. Lenny's job is on boats, okay? Like I always tell you, I'm an Uber driver and a comedian, and that's fucked. Well, I mean, imagine what boat comedian is. I mean, fucking Lenny, virtually all of his work is spent on the high seas. Now, that's decent if you're a pirate, because you're always going to have fucking doubloons to steal. But if you're a comedian and they don't want to put you on this fucking floating Petri dish anymore, then they fucking scotch that fucking thing and you're home. So he told me, he's like, man, I don't even know. His future's a coin flip. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. So I pick him up from the airport on Monday, and he's been on a fucking cruise ship for like 2 weeks. So he's seen Facebook. He's gone around and around with some people on Facebook about what's going on and, the virus and do we need to worry? Because he was in the camp firmly in the beginning of, man, this is just a weird panic. Like everybody's freaking out for nothing, like that kind of deal. And, I mean, sure, it's easy to say that on a boat until fucking Manuel, the busboy, comes down with it and fucking infects everybody on the Lido deck. Once you got people vomiting all over the fucking Lido deck and can't breathe or whatever the fuck, then maybe you take it seriously. But if you're on the boat, because again, you're out there, there's the sun, there's the waves. You see Sam sit, you see Sam sit in the sun, you see Sam sit in the sun sipping soda, and you're on fire with it. You're like, all right, man, this is a Korean vacation. By Korean, I went to say Caribbean, and I said Korean. You know what? Fuck it. I'd go on a Korean vacation. Get me over to South Korea. They have no fucking viruses there, and they're testing everybody. How the fuck does that happen? South Korea's tested everybody. They're selling it at the store. They got guys that don't even, like, literally, there are people like, hey, you been tested yet? Yeah, I have. Okay. And they're just going door to door. Hey, how you doing? You want to test? Of course I do. Some people are like, nah, I'm good. I think I'm fine. They're like, nah, we should test you anyway. They have fucking, Korean tea, whatever the fuck, bubble tea, boba. Oh no, is that Vietnamese? I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know, man. And so Lenny, he's on the ship, and usually I go to the airport early. I go down to LAX because I never know, when he's going to deplane. And I'm picking him up and my niece up at the same time. So I head down there, and there's no traffic. It was fucking gorgeous. This is, like I said, Monday afternoon, like 1 in the afternoon, I think. So I usually park in the parking lot of a Ralph's grocery store, and I wait for him to text me. So I parked in the Ralph's, and then he texts me. He landed, and he's waiting for his niece or his daughter to land, and I got to pick him up. And I said, well, I'm in Ralph's. Just let me know. And then he texts me. He's like, we're ready. And in my head, it dawns on me, I've been sitting in fucking Ralph's parking lot for 20 minutes. I could have ducked into this Ralph's to see if they had any supplies, because I still have not found a case of water. I still have not been able to get a case of water. We're talking a week. Okay. I have not been able to buy a case of water. That's a key word right there. I have not been able to buy a case of water. But I will tell you something about a case of water in a second. So I went, fuck, should I go? But they were done, and I don't ever want to be late, especially if you've been on a plane all day. There's nothing worse than like when somebody tells you you're going to pick up from the airport, and you're like, all right, man, I get there at 2:30. And then you get there at 2:30, you text them, you're like, hey, man, I'm here. They're like, cool, I'm about 40 minutes away on the freeway. And you're like, oh, all right. Because, you got up early and you walked through the fucking terminal and you went and got on the plane and you had a shitty travel day. You've been traveling all day, and not shitty. We all do it. But I'm just saying, if you've been traveling all day, you'd prefer to walk out of the airport directly into somebody's car. That would be ideal, wouldn't it? So I always try to be in the neighborhood, and also because I'm getting paid. That's another thing too. Is like Lenny's paying me to drive him. And my buddy Jeff. These guys. It's a side hustle that I had that is now fucking gone. Where I was driving comedians to and from gigs because they'd be Ubering anyway. So they'd rather fucking hang out with me and then pay me, which is super cool, and I appreciate it. So I at Ralph's, and I'm like, fuck, I should go in there now. And I went, fuck it. So I pick Lenny up and his daughter, and we pull out, and we're talking a little bit, the plane and the quarantine, whatever. I say, hey, dude, is there a way I can jump into this Ralph's real quick? He's like, what's for? And I go, well, dude, I've been trying to get a case of water for like a long time. He goes, oh yeah, fuck. What's with everybody? I see it online. They're all freaking the fuck out. I go, it's a weird thing. I go, but I've been trying to get a case of water for a week. And I go, and I was sitting here. I should have gone in and checked because people were walking out with like Dasani on their card. I didn't even think about it. He goes, all right, yeah. So we pull in. He goes, and his daughter goes, yeah, we should probably get some stuff for the house too. And he goes, all right, cool. So we walked into Ralph's, and I told him, and he's like, this is just crazy. He goes, these people need to fucking calm down. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I go, but people are also kind of freaking out a little bit because nobody knows what's going to happen. He goes, yeah, I know, but if they just fucking calm down, this would be fine. If everybody would just, quit overreacting. And that annoyed me a little bit. I won't lie, because I wanted to. You haven't been here. You kind of don't know what it's like. So I went, yeah, but you don't understand. That I said that people come shopping and there are people who are hoarding things, so they wind up buying. And he goes, yeah, I know, those people are fucking ruining it for everybody. I go, yes. I go, but that's why then these people get here and they're freaking out because there are no cans of soup or whatever. And so they're trying to get anything they can. And so people wind up buying Beets or whatever the fuck. And he's like, yeah, I know, but that's just stupid. These people, he goes, if everybody would just calm down and wait one day, tomorrow these shelves would be completely full. And I go, well, it's really not that simple. I said, because I have been trying to get a case of water now for a week. I go, I literally went in last Monday. I go, and I've been going to 4 stores a day trying to get a case of water, and there is none available. I said, I've missed water by like 10 minutes a couple times. He's like, yeah, well, that's what the fuck. He goes, if these people would just fucking calm down, if they waited one day, tomorrow we'd have all the fucking groceries would be full up. All the stores would be full because, the trucks are still running. I go, yeah, until the truck drivers get sick. And he goes, well, the truck drivers aren't going to get sick. And I go, all right, I hope not. I said, but I understand the feeling people have where they think they need to buy a lot of things. I go, I wish they didn't, but it exists for a reason. Now we're standing in the store having this conversation. And then finally we're kind of walking, and then we come to the water aisle, and I go, yeah, man, because the shelves are completely bare. They're out. But they did have, there was probably like 20 gallons of distilled water. And he goes, fuck, they got a ton of water here. I go, well, yeah. I go, but I wanted to get a case of water with the bottles of water. I don't want a gallon jug. And he goes, oh, well, if you're going to be picky, you're part of the problem. And listener, friend, inner circle member, internet chum, that was really all I needed to hear at that point. I'd been doing very well. I'd been doing fine. I'd been holding my tongue. I'd been going to stores and not getting angry or upset at anybody. Shopping to and fro, taking photos, kind of smiling at the whole situation a little bit. Like I said, I've even approached people who had tons of water who would not share it with me. And, but what I did not need to fucking hear was that I was part of the problem. Because I didn't want to buy a gallon of distilled water. Because, and again, if let's put it this way, I think you know me and you listened to me last week and you hear what I'm saying now. Like if it was a desperate fucking time, I would buy a gallon of distilled water. Okay, I'm only going to these grocery stores to pop in like 3 or 4 different stores. I'm not running, sprinting in and going, where's the water? I want a case of water. That would be nice because I've been drinking bottled water for fucking 15 years. I didn't need a handful of fucking germs to tell me I needed bottled water. I drink it all the fucking time. You people are on my fucking turf now, man. This is my turf. But if it was a fucking total collapse of society, yeah, I'd buy the gallon of distilled fucking water. But what I'm looking for is, at my house, I can drink tap water, which I do. Listen, here you go. That's a cup. It's a cup of ice water, tap water, and a big Slurpee cup, a big Paul Stanley fucking Slurpee cup at my house. But when I go to the gym or when I go to the car to drive Uber, I have a cooler and I like to bring, to the gym, I bring like 6 waters, and when I'm driving, I bring 12 to 15 waters with me. So I don't have to pull over every fucking 10 minutes and buy myself a fucking bottle of water for $1.50 when a case is $4. So that's all I'm doing. I'm buying the containers. Fuck the water. I'm literally buying the carrying case. Now, could I carry around a jug of distilled water like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger at the gym or some shit like that? You ever see those assholes who got a fucking gallon container and they're fucking chugging out of it? Oh, I gotta stay hydrated. Yeah, of course you do, you fucking steakhead. But I don't. I like to have water with me. I like to have it. That's the key. I like to. I don't need to fucking break down society to have a fucking gallon of distilled water in my fucking bunker. I'm not worried about spacemen or germs or whatever the fuck, okay? I'm not panicking yet. But, more water. When my brother says to me in a fucking crowded restaurant or a crowded store, as people are running around grabbing shit, he tells me, well, hey, if you're going to be picky, you're part of the problem. That's all I needed, folks. That's when a week's worth of frustration and probably a little bit of pent up fear and wondering and a lot of the unknown that was floating around. You know, I'll tell you this, a lot of the unknown became known right then, because I actually thought to myself, how will I react if things go completely to hell? Like, how will I react if things really hit the fan? And I found out that I still have that good old-fashioned spark of rage deep inside me that can be tripped by any stupid fucking thing. Because then my brother's like, if you're going to be picky, you're part of the problem. I go, hey, fuck that. And he looks at me and I go, don't fucking come here and tell me what the fuck I am. I go, you've been in a fucking boat for 2 fucking weeks. You don't know what it's like. I've been going to a fucking store every day. I've been going to 4 stores, 5 stores, sometimes 6 fucking stores, and I can't find a case of fucking water. I've been trying for a fucking week. And he just goes, hey, you need to calm down. I go, yeah, I know. I need to calm down? Well, you don't fucking tell me that I'm part of the fucking problem, man. What the fuck? And a woman walks over with her cart, and I look at her and I go, you believe this? Like, he's been out of town for 2 fucking weeks. He's going to come to town and tell me that I'm part of the problem in fucking LA because I'm on a case of fucking water. I can't find a case of fucking water anywhere. And she goes, yeah, I don't, she's like trying to get away because she got sucked into this. And then he looks at me with this weird face like, why are you bringing somebody else into this? And he's not wrong. Nobody's wrong here except me. I get it. But he just looks and he goes, Mike, you're fucking losing it. I go, yeah, I'm fucking losing it because you're telling me I'm part of the fucking problem. Look at these people running around like psychopaths stripping the shelves of fucking cans of beans. All I wanted was a case of fucking water. You're going to tell me it's my fucking problem that I can't fucking find one? All of a sudden security comes over, 2 different security guards. They come over. They go, is there a problem? And I go, no, fuck, I'm fine. I'm fucking fine. And she goes, well, you should probably stop yelling. And I'm like, yeah. And Lenny just walks away. And I will tell you this, that in this store, because the one thing they did have that they didn't have in any of the other stores the whole week was meat. So I grabbed a couple of ribeye steaks and I just fucking walked away, went to the self-checkout, bought my steaks, went up to my car. And I got in the car and I was fuming. I was fucking fuming because I'm like, how dare you come to town? You haven't been here for a fucking week. You haven't seen people waiting in line outside of fucking grocery stores. Literally, the news is showing people, and I'm sure you've seen it. You probably got it in your fucking towns. I mean, outside of my Ralph's, you know what here's what Ralph's did. Ralph's was open till 2 a.m. by my house. Some of them were 24 hours, but the ones around my house were open till 2 a.m. Then I went to Ralph's, and I got there at like 11 o'clock one night, and they had a handwritten sign that said, "We close at midnight." And I was like, all right, well, that's fine. And sure enough, by Friday, I went to the Ralph's by my house and it's just closed. There's no sign. And I'm like, oh, that's a really bad sign. Like if the grocery store is closed at fucking 9:30 p.m. when I know they're open till midnight. So I went to another Ralph's that I go to and I pull up and there's fucking 20 people in the parking lot. And they're commiserating in the parking lot. Some of them are by the doors and some of them are hitting the fucking windows because there's employees in the store, but the doors are locked. And in my head, I was like, all right, this is really bad. I get out of the car and I walk over and people are pounding. They're like, hey, what the fear? It says right here, 2 a.m. And I know it's not 2 a.m. anymore. I know it's midnight, but the sign says 2 a.m. And a woman, an employee comes over and she holds up 8 fingers. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they're hitting the window. And she goes, we close at 8. And she goes, and they said, where? When did you say you close at 8? Like, why is there no sign? And the woman goes, we close at 8. And she walks away from the window. So people start like hitting the window to get their attention and they're yelling. And then more people are pulling up to the parking lot. And I'm just standing there. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. And again, like I said last week, man, I've never been a part of panic buying or panic shopping like you guys do for hurricanes and shit like that down in the South. I don't know anything about it. Or up in the fucking, the North where, we did it for blizzards, but never really that crazy. But just to see these people kind of swirling, it was this real maelstrom. There was a real electricity in the air. Like, someone's going to put a cart through the fucking window. We're just waiting for Mookie to show up. At that point, that's all you're doing. We're just waiting for Mookie to show up. And it's like, well, fuck, I don't even know where that's going to go, man. Is somebody going to lose their fucking mind? Is somebody going to go put something through the window? And people are pointing and yelling. And then a woman walks up and she's like, what's going on? And I just said, they're closed. And she goes, they don't close until midnight. I go, yeah, well, the sign says 2 and now they're saying 8. And she's like, oh, that's not good. I go, no, that's not good. So I actually walked away because when I get near those situations, I tend to vibrate a little bit where I'm like, hey, this will be fun. What chaos is going to happen? Let's see what bad shit's going to happen. I want to stick around for this. But I forced myself to walk away. I'm like, you don't want to be here for this. You don't know if some idiot's going to pull out a gun and shoot out a window or throw a fucking cart through, whatever the fuck. You don't want to be here for it. What are you going to do? You're going to go loot broccoli? Get the fuck out of here. So I go to my car. I get in and I open up the Ralph's app, and the Ralph's app says all the stores are still open at 2 a.m. And I went to Ralph's Twitter account. They haven't tweeted since fucking Valentine's Day. And I'm like, well, what the fuck, man? So then finally, in a last-ditch effort, I called another Ralph's. Because like I said, I told you, there's 6 that I go to in this like 6-mile radius, 8-mile, 10-mile radius. And I finally call one and it answers with a recording that says right away, hello, thank you for calling your local Ralph's store. In order to keep the stores clean, and then we're now closing at 8. All of our stores will close at 8 o'clock p.m. until further notice. Which, fine. But who the fuck ever calls anybody anymore? You check shit online is what you do. And I couldn't find a trace of it online. So then I actually tweeted at Ralph's. I go, hey, Ralph's, you've got like 30 people really fucking mad in a parking lot in Burbank right now. They're not happy. Ralph's did not answer me. Some people liked my tweet. And then in my head, I go, what are you doing? Are you just causing more fucking trouble? Deleted it. Because nobody fucking, because again, that just looks like privileged Joe. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I can't buy non-dairy creamer on a Friday night at 10 p.m. Why? Then what good is this virus at all? You fucking idiot. Grow up, go home. And I left, but so that shit is real. here. It's happening. The news shows that they're literally showing me lines in front of Costco from space, like from a space station. Like the Russians are taking photos of old people waiting to buy fucking kale. It's insane. And again, it's shit I never thought I'd see. That's a lie. I can't say it's shit I never thought I'd see. It's shit I never thought about seeing. How about that? I'm not surprised by it. I mean, as I've talked about it here, I've said, man, we're getting to a point. I think a real class warfare pitch here between rich and poor, and not even poor, middle class, whatever the fuck. Let's put it this way: we're getting into a real gray area here, where eventually the line standers are going to go looking for the line organizers. And and that's not going to be good for anybody, man. It's not, and also anybody who's shitty to an employee in a store at this point in time, it's like, get the fuck out of here, man. You think this employee wants to be here all fucking day, risking getting sick? I finally, I did get to a store. Let me finish this. So, they've put up these rules now where like old people can go shop early. They can go for an hour in the morning. And good for them. You know what I mean? Take care of these people. Do everything you can to try to make it safe. Because there are too many people who are worried about themselves at this fucking point. So I got to my car. I sat out there, put the steak in the trunk. And then I texted Lenny. I just said, hey, I checked out. I'm in the car. He's like, I'll be out there soon. And he and Anna came out. Because Anna watched me. She saw me lose my mind too. I felt like an idiot. So in my brain, I was all set to just be silent the whole fucking way home. It was me like, fuck this, man. I'm not going to say a fucking thing. Just fucking get out of here. And he got in the car, and I started it up. We went to back up, and I go, hey, look. I go, man, I'm sorry. All right. He goes, no, that's cool. I go, no, it's not cool. I go, you don't deserve that, but you have to understand how incredibly frustrating it's been here for the past week to 10 days. He's like, I know. I just think that people are freaking out for no reason. I go, you're right. I go, but when someone who's not freaking out for no reason is consistently coming up on the short end because of the people who are freaking out for no reason, then guess what? Eventually, the person on the short end is going to freak out for no reason. And that's what I did. I go, I wasn't mad at you. It wasn't right to talk to the other person. I get all that. I go, but you can't tell me I'm part of the problem when I've been surviving here for a week just trying to, and I literally was like, you know who I am? I'm fucking Mike. I'm Mike Muir from Suicidal. I just wanted a Pepsi. All I want is a Pepsi. Hey man, I went to your learning institutions. I mean, it's institutional learning facilities. All I wanted was a Pepsi. All I wanted was a case of water. That's it. But everybody else is just scooping shit off shelves with both arms, man. And you walk in, it's just this ghost town, and people with masks on now, and they're calling people and finding, all right, what do you get? Like they got somebody else at another store and they're coordinating. I got relish. What do you got? You know what I mean? You're just like, and I get it. I mean, a lot of people are fucking scared. And it's okay to be scared because this is fucking crazy, right? We can acknowledge that. But at the same time, man, don't hurt anybody. And don't you got to recognize too that other people are fragile at this moment. And I'm not saying I'm fragile, but if you tell me that I'm part of the fucking problem when you've been on a goddamn boat floating around and eating goddamn bacon wrapped shrimp for 2 fucking weeks, and yeah, you got your own set of problems. You only got one news channel. You got, I'm sure you're losing at shuffleboard to every fucking customer. Maybe your ice is melting too fast in your drink. All of that is fine and tough. You got to do your shows at night. Yes, I recognize these terrible things. The towels are too small. The beds are too hard. Shudder. But I'm sitting here, I'm trying to buy potable fucking water and I haven't been able to for fucking 9 days. And then you tell me that I'm part of the fucking problem because I'm picky. I'm fucking picky. I didn't say I wanted to go and storm the gates and steal fucking water. I wanted to buy what I wanted. That's why I wanted to double check in there to see if they had what I fucking wanted. I don't need a gallon of distilled water. I needed a case of bottled water. As long as my taps are still working, I don't need to buy any fucking gallons of water. Just like I don't need, there's all sorts of shit I don't need to buy. Believe me, that happened with Lenny on Monday. And then I got to the store on Tuesday and I went shopping and I got in and man, I bought, again, fucking shelves destroyed. And I just walked around bemused. Like, I was able to get stuff. I got some, fucking, what did I get? I got some lunch meat. I got some ham, some pastrami. I've had 3 pot pies in 4 days. That's not good. Probably bad eating for you. I wanted fresh. So like I said, I bought cucumbers. I bought tomatoes. I bought avocados. I bought celery. Been chopping that up and eating that as like mini salads. There wasn't any meat, so I was unable to buy meat except for the lunch meat that I grabbed. And but then my favorite part is these shelves are all empty, and there's people freaking out, and they're still walking around like at a fast clip, and they're loading up. There's no butter, there's no eggs. That was what I really wanted, was eggs. No butter, no eggs, no milk. No meat. No rice, no pasta. Because I went down that aisle. But the best part is the shit that they did have left. Like, there's shit that I didn't even know existed. This is the stuff that we're gonna eat. I've got a list of things that we're gonna eat if things go completely off of fucking rails. Because there's no milk, there's no eggs. However, if you were looking for gluten-free Brazilian Parmesan bread bites, well, let me tell you, there's at least 5 bags of those at the Ralph's I went to. I took photos of these things too, because I was like, again, it was food that in my mind, I thought maybe they had invented just for this event and then brought them in because they're like, yeah, they literally are stored in some fucking, they're like K rations or one of those fucking things. They're like a Jim Baker gruel in a bucket that he sells, like apocalypse food or whatever the fuck. That's where you're going to find Brazilian gluten-free Parmesan bread bites. That's where you're going to find Dr. Prager's carrot puffs. Oh, I can't wait to choke those fucking things down. I'm not even going to tell you what this was. This was Nature's Path Organic Gluten-Free Pumpkin Spice. I'm going to let you finish that. But they had them. Took a photo of them. They had fucking Kodiak Power Pancakes. Here's my favorite thing. They had baby corn in brine. Like shit nobody wants. It's just sitting on and there's like 20 jars of baby corn in brine or whatever the fuck, just sitting there. Everybody, and I mean, I'm like, you selfish motherfuckers, give baby corn a day in court. If the Russians are coming and the fucking Captain Trips is here and bombs are going to start falling, you're going to be in a bunker somewhere going, fuck, I wish I had some baby corn and brine. God damn, I wish I had it. Oh my God, I'd love to choke down some power pancakes at this point. I went through, I bought what I could buy. I'm in line. Here's another cool thing. I get in line, and because the lines are so long at the store, people will come in teams, like a mom and a son or a wife and a husband, whatever the fuck, daughter, who cares. And they'll put one of the people in line while the other person is still shopping. So they just can hold a spot. And they'll give that person like a small amount of groceries. And then they show up with the cart. You know what I mean? And you're like, why are you? Don't do this shit. This is the kind of shit that leads to riots. This is the kind of shit that leads to you being shitty, is when you start inconveniencing people thinking you can do whatever the fuck you want. Literally, there's a kid in front of me, and he's got 5 things on the belt, and he keeps looking to the back, and I know something's up, man. I know something's up. And there's another person between me and him, and who's waiting to check out, and then he gets up and he goes, "Oh, my mom's coming. She'll be here in just a second." And the dude behind him is just like, "Well, can I go ahead of you?" And he's like, "No, she'll be right here. I know she'll be right here." And he's like, "Man, just let me, I've got 15 things. Let me just check out." He goes, No, she'll be right here. And this is the kid's fault. But also it's the mom's fault for leaving the kid in the fucking line. He's 15. He doesn't know that he should get out of the way of an adult, whatever the fuck. He doesn't know what's going on. But finally he lets the guy go. The guy in between us goes. And so then I'm waiting for the mom to show up. So the guy ahead of us goes, he's getting his stuff checked out, and then the mom comes up and she's got a cart full of shit. Just a cart full. And I'm like, ugh. And I don't want to cause any problems, because that will just cause problems for the employees, and they are working their fucking asses off. So I sat there when she came up with the cart, and then she leaves. Okay. She leaves with the cart. And the cart's getting checked out, but she bails. And I'm like, why the fuck is she leaving? And she runs to the back. And I'm like, all right, I don't even know what the fuck is going on. What's happening here, man? And the kid is nervous, and he's so sad and bummed, and he doesn't want to be there. You know what I mean? It's just such a fucking drag. And they're checking him out, and he's kind of nervously eyeing things. And he doesn't have, also, by the way, he can't pay for this shit. Like, if somehow they finish the cart and she's not up there, they can't pay for this shit, because he doesn't have any fucking money, and I'm waiting and like, whatever the fuck. So then as they're getting near the end of the cart, there's only like 5 things left. And the woman comes barreling up. She comes rolling up to the front and, she cuts through. And again, it's this thing where people grumble. But again, thankfully, nobody wants to freak out. Nobody wants to yell because it could have turned. You could have reached that pitch right away. I mean, that shit could have happened, man. But thankfully, it did not. You know what I mean? Where people weren't going ahead and losing their fucking mind. Nobody was out of there just crazy. And that's fine. But then this woman comes bursting back up. And like I said, there's no milk or eggs left. And she bursts it and she's got 8 boxes of spaghetti. 8 boxes of pasta. Now, mind you, I went down the pasta aisle. There was no fucking pasta. There was no spaghetti, no fucking rice. She bursts down the line, and she bursts up, and she just dumps and it's like thin spaghetti, regular spaghetti, vermicelli, all of it, 8 of them, boom. And I just went, oh, awesome. Where'd you find those? And she looks up and she goes, there's none. And I go, I'm sorry, what? And she goes, none left. I went, right, but you found 8 boxes of spaghetti somewhere? And she just goes, none left. And she turns around and starts talking to her son. And I go, yeah, I don't doubt it. Because what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Why are you buying 8 boxes of fucking spaghetti? Clearly, you could have just said, hey, man, you want a box of this spaghetti? Because I told you, I already embarrassed myself last week asking for a case of water from people and getting told fucking no. But you're buying 8 boxes of fucking spaghetti. You shitheel. What the fuck is your problem, man? And look, unless you're fucking Super Mario, you don't need 8 boxes of fucking spaghetti. Hey, it's me, a Mario, with 8 boxes of a pasta. Fuck you mustache-wearing motherfucker. It's just a normal, what? You're not even fucking Italian. Quit buying all the pasta, you fuck. Infuriating. And I just laughed in the line because I was like, whatever, the fuck. I mean, because you're not going to, what are you going to do? Are you going to fucking freak out or steal a fucking box of spaghetti? All you can do is just roll your fucking eyes. When I was walking through shopping, I'd come around a corner, you'd see people freaking out and they'd have a can of salmon or tuna or quinoa or whatever. Well, here's my favorite thing. I come around the corner at one point and I told you, I'm taking photos. I took photos of products. I took photos of empty shelves. And I come around the corner and there's another woman and she's got to be like 35. She's got a cart and she's like filming. She's like taking pictures. And I looked at her and kind of smirked. She looks up at me and I go, this is incredible, right? She goes, I can't believe it. I go, uh-huh. I go, let's hope it doesn't get worse. And I just walked away. Picked up as much stuff as I could. I did not buy any power pancakes. I did not buy any baby corn and brine. Listen to me, I'm storming around having an attitude about people, but I didn't buy any baby corn and fucking brine either. I don't know, man. We're all worried. All you can do your best. Stay in your house, wash your hands. But that also leads to some other hard truths. One of which is well, I'll go ahead and tell you this, folks. It's a very hard time for all of us in America. It's difficult for you. It's difficult for your neighbors. We have to reach across and help up anybody who needs. Shut up. Oh my God. You've got to stop. Please stop, dude. I get it, but that weird setting the table for the apocalypse or whatever the fuck, just do a fucking show. All right. And I know I come off as a fucking jagoff half the fucking time, I'm sure, but whatever the fuck. And now you go online and the whole world has changed in a week, 2 weeks. Because, I'm very lucky. All right. I've had this podcast now for 12 years. I did a year, Never Not Funny. And I've got built-in listeners, people who've stayed with me forever. And thank you. I love you guys. I'm so happy about it. And I won't lie. I got a little pissed off this week because now, cruise ships are closed and fucking comedy clubs are closed and writers' rooms are closed and burlesque clubs have closed and dance clubs and bands and all that shit. And, and literally all of these people went home and they went, you know what, man? I guess I got to do a podcast now, right? Shouldn't I get into that? I mean, I'm funny and I've been a comedian. I should go ahead and do that. Let's do a oh my God, quarantine podcast. Yeah, it's about time, huh? That's an original idea that nobody's had in a fucking million years. It's not like 15 people in this very apartment complex are doing the same fucking thing, but I'm a comedian. I'll stand out because I'm funny and interesting. Shut up. I thought it was bad before, honestly. I thought it was, I remember I talked about I haven't done any YouTube videos because I'm like, man, everybody's doing this thing where they taste cereal and they go, delicious. Or they listen to Foghat for the first time. They're like, wow. You know what I mean? Fuck all that, man. And I'm like, I don't want to do the same shit everybody else is doing. But also, what am I going to do? Some old radio play, bust out a fucking fedora and a pipe or some dumb shit? I can't do that either. And then I'm like, well, look, people just like me. Maybe I'll just be me. But then that's the arrogance of all of these other motherfuckers. Everybody else, every 2-bit fucking Subway busker with a goddamn ukulele now thinks that he's a cottage industry and he's going to open up his own fucking channel. Here we go. You know what? The world's just been waiting to discover me. Bing, ding, 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 ding. Shut the fuck up. I just want to belushi the shit out of all of them. I want to show up and smash the fuck out of your uke. I want to dump mustard on my chest and smash the fuck out of your uke. Who the fuck do you think you are? This is my space, goddammit. I've been doing it 13 fucking years. I respect it. Yeah, the show comes out late now, but I still respect the motherfucker. But you motherfuckers, well, I'm home now. Maybe I'll just call some of my friends and we'll do a Skype podcast. It'll be hilarious. We'll talk about how we don't have anything to eat but Jell-O and vegetables. Ha ha duh. Fucking hang yourselves. How about that? Do that podcast. That's what everybody wants to fucking see. Celebs giving me Imagine as they're on their fucking cell phones and everybody else online. It was great. Like Lily called it online busking. And I'm like, that's exactly what it is. Because it's all these fucking people doing like a burlesque show in their garage or some comedy show with a fucking broom in front of a green screen or whatever the fuck. And look, who the fuck am I? I know you're like, well, Mike, you're nobody. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, I get it. I understand that. I'm doing the same fucking thing. I'm looking for the same crumbs everybody else is. And I've had a 12-year head start, so maybe I should have burst out of this fucking self-imposed goddamn prison I've put upon myself and made myself popular by going ahead and fucking trying to get people to listen to this goddamn thing. Or maybe pay attention to the Twitch channel or done something with my YouTube channel. Yes, you're right. That's at the core of this. I'm furious at myself because now these people are coming into this space and just being like, hey, man, we're going to have a smoke out session at my house and film it. Join us on Twitch. All right, we're going to pack the bong and tell some jokes to be fucking awesome. Just like, God, it was bad enough before when YouTube and Twitch and every other fucking thing made everybody think, you know what, the arbiters are gone, man. The gatekeepers are down. We can go ahead and do whatever the fuck we want. Democracy, man. Anybody can be their own star. But now the problem is everybody thinks that they can be their own fucking star. Some ass fuck in a straw hat with a Jew's harp is going to go ahead and play the greatest hits of the fucking OJs and go, hey, guess what, man? I should be getting some money. Bing, ding, 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 ding. Shut the fuck up. These online because literally, and here's my favorite thing that everybody does. And again, you know this, it's social media. We talk about this all the fucking time. But I just saw somebody the other day and they posted something like, hey, let me tell you something. My aunt had a friend who died from the Spanish flu in 1980. What? So what? Who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody could be less interested in your aunt or her friend. This Spanish flu fucking ridiculous argument. I don't need to hear any of it. But inevitably, somebody has some 4 fucking paragraph treatise about how they're tangentially connected to the Spanish flu. So you should listen to them now when they tell you to not use the same bath towel 2 days in a row or whatever the fuck. Jesus Christ, nobody cares. Or these other fucking people who are just like, they post, this is the thing that cracks me up. Now look, you know me, all right? I hide in my fucking brain every fucking week. Every fucking week. I do this show and I do it. Is it on time all the time? It's really not. It's not on time all the time. And I get that. And I don't mean to disrespect you. I hope you don't think that kind of thing. But it's just, there are people who just, again, the arrogance and the balls of people who just think, yeah, people love me. I should go online. This would be fucking awesome. Even after fucking 13 years of podcasting, I try to convince myself every week I have something that people care about hearing. And now every motherfucker with a golf club thinks he's Johnny Carson, a webcam and a golf club or whatever the fuck. Any fuck knuckle who thinks he can fucking pull out his flute from high school, and they're all putting it on the online too. That's the thing. I saw a guy and he's like, because here's my favorite thing. No, the arrogance of the people who just do it. That to me is astonishing. That's people who are just like, well, yeah, no, it's about time I did a podcast, right? Now that I'm stuck in my fucking house, probably I'll go ahead and do a podcast. Well, okay, good for you. I'm glad this made you get the wherewithal to have to do this. But the other people that these are the ones I really like, are the people who put out a thing that says, hey man, you know what? If I did a show every Friday and I just did some comedy in my house and maybe some music, and then I might have had like a couple of comics over, like, would you guys watch that? Is that something you'd be interested in? And because they don't have the balls to just do it and find out that nobody's interested in it. Nobody at all. Because you are now entering a space that is fucking crowded and packed and filled to the brim with every other fuckhead and every other fucking person who's devoted their life to doing it. It's like when people used to write me in the beginning of this, when people would say to me, hey man, I'm starting a podcast. Like, how the fuck do I get people to listen to it? I'm in Canada, or I'm here, or I'm somewhere, I'm in Boston, and I'm trying to get an audience. And I'd literally write them a list that would say Jimmy Pardo, Joe Rogan, Doug Benson, Mark Maron, Scott Aukerman, Paul Left. I would just list 10 names. And I go, that's your competition. You've heard of them. So has everybody else. I'd be like, I go, I will answer your question. I don't think you like what I have to say, but truthfully, this is just the way it is. You have to, when you start this, you have to be content to do it for yourself. And if you can get some friends to listen to it, then that's pretty cool. And then if you can break out of that small little bubble, then even better. Go for it. I mean, I really have no leg to stand on when it comes to giving you this advice. If it's not for Jimmy Pardo, you're not listening to me right now. It's the total truth. I was on Never Not Funny for a year. And because of that exposure of a year, when there wasn't nearly as much competition, people were like, who's this fucking guy? Like, they were curious enough about me to like what I did. And then I was so fucking lucky that a year later, after I got whacked by Never Not Funny and I spent a year off, jerking off because I was fucking scared, that people still followed me to my show. And then people grew. Like, I was able to grow the audience because I did other appearances or whatever the fuck. And then people would sample this show, and it's different. It was just different enough to get people to hang around, which is cool. And it makes me happy. And then I've had a personal connection with a lot of you as well, which keeps you around. And that again makes me extremely happy. So to see these people, people that I know, people that are comedians, people that I respect, just basically go, oh yeah, no, you know what? I'm going to do a quarantine podcast. That makes sense. I'll go ahead and, or a live Facebook stream where it's just 30 minutes of me trying on hats and talking in a dark room. Won't that be awesome? Yeah, that'll be fucking awesome. I hope you got a lot of personality in those fucking hats. Because, and again, this is me. I'm just saying this to say it. Don't fucking take this in some weird fucking way. This is a hard thing to do. It's really not a hard thing to do. Anybody can open up a microphone and just fucking talk for however many hours or 2 hours or whatever the fuck, right? You could. Anybody could. But could you be compelling? Could you be interesting? Could you be somebody that people wanted to listen to or relate to? Or could you make somebody laugh for that time frame? Now look, I'm guilty of doing none of those things, clearly. I mean, I do them occasionally on this show. I think I'm really fucking good at what I do, but at the same time, look, am I always compelling? No. Am I always making you laugh? No. But for some reason, people coming back is a good thing, and I'm very happy that they do. People keep coming back. I'm happy. But these people who treat it like a lark, like I literally saw a guy, he was like, hey, he's like, I'm just going to fucking say it. He was like, he works with a puppet, and he's like, hey, you know, me and this puppet, I was going to do a thing with my puppet. Would you guys watch? Because here's again, like I said, the balls, the arrogance of just assuming that people want to see you. Like this takes balls to do this. All right. For me to do a podcast every week when I'm telling myself nobody gives a fuck what you want to say is astonishing. And then for me to just see people wander into the space with nothing, like literally just like a kazoo or a slide whistle. Hey, it's the wacky quarantine hour. Get the fuck out of here, man. Hey, I got news for you. The grown-ups are talking. Fucking grown-ups are talking. You and your ukulele and your slide fucking whistle and your puppet, your fucking dance show and your goddamn straw hat can take you know what? Do me a favor. Shuffle off the buffalo. How about that? Grab a cane and do a little side shoe, a little soft shoe right off the fucking stage before the hook grabs you and pulls you the fuck off. Now, I say this, by the way, knowing completely firmly well that all of these people will be more successful than me and will catch on. Quarantine podcasts will be the new thing, and some idiot will be in his house eating baby aspirin and everybody go, he's a genius, and then I'm again relegated to the bottom of the fucking ladder. people that are standing on the shoulders of giants. I just happen to be the giant on the bottom going, hey, guys, can I climb up to the top at some point? But I refuse to tell anybody that I'm good at this. All right, so anyway. But this dude is like, he's got a puppet, right? And he's like, because again, I tangentially became in a group of like vaudeville type people because of Lily. You know what I mean? Because all these people, I met them at the teas, or I met friends, and then, you know how Facebook works. Facebook works like the coronavirus. Literally, I meet somebody, and then 3 of their friends see that I'm their friend, and they just reach out because they're just collecting friends. And the next thing you know, we're all trying to fucking stay in our house and do nothing. That's it. That's what Facebook is. It's the fucking coronavirus of fucking social media. Because you see, I have a friend, and then you would have 2 friends, and we all have 3 friends. Like when I started dating my fucking ex, everybody reached out to become her friend. You know what I mean? It's like it was weird. She got like 30 friend requests in one day, and she freaked her out. She's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, hey man, people are nice. You know, that's it. So that's how I fucking somehow end up friends with all these fire eaters and shit. So this dude's like, he's got a puppet, and he's just like, and again, look, man, if you got a puppet, I'm going to tell you right now, that's gold. All right, just do a fucking puppet show. If you have a puppet and a camera and you're not doing a fucking show with that puppet, what the fuck is wrong with you? Do I think it's good? No. But if you're bored in your house and you got a puppet, do a fucking show. Pat's got puppets. They're fucking hysterical. But of course, Pat is fucking hysterical. I don't know who you are and what your puppet does or what you do with your puppet or whatever the fuck. But honestly, if you're home right now alone, right, and there's no pasta, no eggs, no beans, no rice, and all you got is a fucking camera and a puppet, and how are you not doing a fucking puppet show? And yet, these fucking people put out a thing on their page where it's like, hey, what if me and Chauncey did a fucking weekly show where we talked a little, and we had some guests, and blah, blah, and everybody's just like, and here's my favorite part. Everybody goes, do it. Yeah, awesome. Oh man, you and Chauncey will be fucking great. Oh, it'll be so good to see puppets and you. Yes, please. With my dying breath, I say to you, please do this show. The internet has been waiting for a puppet show from a den. Why haven't you done it yet? You fucking idiots. So this dude's just like, so they, of course, see all your friends, it's Facebook. If so, you want some fucking cold hard truth, you want somebody to throw a bucket of cold water in your face, someone should just post, fuck you and your puppet. Nobody cares. You know what? You're going to put your hand up a puppet's ass? Wash that fucking hand, man. You want to give your puppet the fucking virus? You want to give him the HIV? Get him the fuck out of here. So, but this motherfucker's just like, would anybody care if wouldn't you love it if I did it? Me and Chauncey did a little tete-a-tete, a little back and forth. He did a song up top and I drank a glass of water and then perhaps he recited the alphabet and oh man, wow, are your instincts fucking terrible. But of course, everybody swoops in with like, yes, please do it. Oh my God, yeah. Slay, king. Do a puppet show, king. Yes, slay. And you know, like the first episode, the puppet will have a mask on. I mean, I can predict this fucking thing from the jump, man. But he's going to do it. He'll do it. Because again, 7 people told him it's a good idea. And then here's my favorite thing. This one dude was like, he's like, of course I would ask for tips while I was doing it. Like he wrote that in the comments, and I'm like, I see. So you're not asking us if you should entertain us for free with you and your fuckstick puppet in a garage somewhere. You're asking if I would pay you money to see you sit with a pile of felt in your lap in a fucking broom closet because the acoustics are better. Is that what you're asking me? Are you asking me if I'll pony up my entertainment dollar? Because I'm trapped in my house with just Netflix and God and everybody. You're asking me if I'll pony up my last entertainment dollar to watch you with a fistful of felt sitting in a fucking, in a basement, a furnished basement somewhere, or an unfurnished basement, however you want to handle your business, and talk to a fucking shirt with your hand in it. Is that what you're asking me? Because I got news for you. That opens up a whole new fucking realm of answers to this question. Because a second ago, it was like, yes, slay, king, slay with your talking shirt puppet show, hand show. It's fantastic. But now you want money for that fucking thing. And I got news for you. Nobody's paying you to do a puppet show when the planet isn't fucking dying. So now that the planet is about to be consumed in a ball of fire and coughing, you expect me to give you however fucking amount of money you want to go ahead and do a puppet show and do Who's on First with a goddamn throw pillow? Oh, sure, that's what I want to do. Hold on. What's your Venmo / Cash App / whatever the fuck / why don't I just come over and bring it to your house and then we hug so we both fucking die because this idea is so stupid it should kill us right instantly along with the fucking germs. Holy shit, you puppet owning motherfucking weirdo. Oh, dudes. These fucking people, and that's what I see. Like I said, the celebs of the Imagine. That was literally just celebrities going, just think about the balls of the celebrities doing the Imagine thing. That's literally like fucking 20 people, whoever the fuck, were like, oh man, a lot of fucking germs and craziness going on in this world. You know what this world needs? Seriously, you know what this world needs? If there was any way to get the non-native English speaker who plays Wonder Woman and has trouble with W's, is there a way we could possibly get her to get a posse of her friends to record themselves on a cell phone singing a song from when hippies had ideals and thought the world could be saved before all of us decided that we were going to die in a hail of spores? Is that a thing? Yeah, let's do that. The hubris. Because again, I think it's hubris for me to do this fucking show. I think it's hubris for me to have a YouTube thing or do a Twitch channel where I'm playing video games and talking to a fucking a webcam and having a chat stream with people. I love it. I love reaching out to you people. I love that this is partially a career. Is it, have I made a killing? Have I broken the bank? I have not, but you guys have all been kind and generous and helped me stay afloat up to this fucking point. But at the same fucking time, I never once went, you know what? You know what these people need? They need me to go ahead and sing. This would inspire everybody. If there was some way, me and a bunch of, and because I will tell you this, let me ask you this. I should put this up as a poll. Let's decide what's worse. What's worse, the celebrities all getting together, and I don't mean the celebrities, not all of them, but this group of people who did this Imagine song, they all get together, right? And they go, this is a great idea. Let's all fucking let's all sing flat on a phone. It'll be terrible. But we'll put it together because they love us because we're fucking celebrities, right? I'm Wonder Woman. Everybody's going to be fucking cool with that. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I host the Tonight Show. It's about, if you wanted to see me, because I'm Jimmy Fallon, look, there are decades of Saturday Night Live clips that you could go through and see me in a million of them. And then you could also find some of my shitty movies that I made, because I've done some of those. I've also done stand-up. And also, as Jimmy Fallon, if you know this, I've hosted the Tonight Show now for, I don't know, an infinite number of years. That's my guess. I mean, I'm on, and as a matter of fact, they run it every night. Get this. If you've got NBC, which is one of the 3 national networks, or I guess we're including Fox, let's go with 4. If you are not a cord cutter and you have access to NBC television, you can check out my show every single fucking night. Or even if you are a cord cutter, you can go on the internet and find clips of me playing fucking tiddlywinks with some fucking B-level actor, whoever the fuck. We somehow tricked Tom Cruise into trying to chug water with me or whatever. We got Jason Momoa there to slap each other in the face. I don't know. We had a tomato juice drinking contest with Judy Collins. What the fuck? Send in the clowns? Ma, fuck that. Send in the tomato juice. Let's fucking chug this shit with that chick. But here, I'm Jimmy Fallon. You can find me doing all of those things at literally like listen. That's me. I'm tapping 4 buttons and there's Jimmy Fallon. He's on my screen. You could find me anywhere you wanted. But you know what people need now? Besides love, sweet love, you know what people really need? They need to see me walking down the street, callously crooning 5 words from Imagine into a cell phone because they can't get enough of me. Oh my God, people are trapped in their homes. You know what they need? More Fallon. That's what people are thinking. I gotta, you know what? There's a bunch of people sick in this fucking country. We gotta give them a shot of vitamin Fallon. Oh man. You think anybody at home, trapped in their house, wondering about their future, their job, everything falling apart, 20% unemployment, literally the Under Pressure video with Queen and David Bowie with scenes from the Depression now looks like a fucking prescient future. You watch those fucking old grizzled dudes eating bread crusts and free soup on the street. You're like, that's coming. That shit's coming. Fuck, I go to the store, I see apples, and I think to myself, what can I get for those in the street? Like if I bought these apples, I could sell these apples and pencils. That's what the whole Depression ran on? Apples and pencils. It was a different world back then, folks. People were trying to avoid scurvy and write down their fucking names because they knew the scurvy would eventually kill them because they ate not enough apples or oranges or whatever the fuck. Jesus Christ. But Fallon, this motherfucker, is thinking to himself, you know what? These people haven't seen me in 9 seconds. It's about time I rallied them to my side. The only thing worse would be if James Corden started doing like James Corden off karaoke. And it was like him and somebody else via a cell phone, and they did fucking dumbass songs, and his fat English ass was fucking ruining everything. And oh my Christ, what is just the fucking balls, the low hanging balls on them thinking, you know what this country needs right now? The world needs now is more Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, let's get him on. That's what people were, people at home wondering, and they're just thinking to themselves, holy fuck, I haven't seen Jimmy Fallon in 4 seconds. I hope he's okay. And then he pops in for a fucking thing of Imagine. So what's worse? The celebrities deciding, you know what? Yeah, we got to juice up this fucking economy and these people. We got to cheer them up with a shot of Fallon in the street singing Imagine. Or what's worse, that or the fucking, I've seen at least 6 parodies that then emerged from improv people and Los Angeles comedians and every other because again, nobody can put their phone down. Nobody can stop filming themselves or putting their voice out there for public consumption. Everybody's just like, you know what else is really funny? Those celebs suck. Let's make fun of the celebs. And then the snarkiness began. It just turned into it was like somebody took that Imagine video and they lowered it into acid and they pulled out all the bones and the flesh was being consumed by, and it's not even acid. It was like a fucking barrel of locusts. That's what it was. There's this great Dr. Phibes scene. Vincent Price is in these Dr. Phibes movies. Here, you want some quarantine bullshit? Watch the Dr. Phibes movies. The Abominable Dr. Phibes, Dr. Phibes Rises Again, I think. I don't fucking know. But he kills a dude he does these very unique, not very unique, it can't be unique. Being unique is inherently very. But if it's something in a unique way, he kills people in unique ways. And one of the ways he kills this one dude is there's a guy, he like administers a drug and the guy's asleep and then he drips like honey all over him or he puts in a tube, he slides it into the roof and he drips, I think it's honey all over him. And then he just drops bugs all over him, like fucking beetles or ants or whatever the fuck it was. I'm a little unclear on this. It was the 3:30 movie when I was a kid, but still. And then they find just the guy's a skeleton because the bugs are eating the honey and they eat his flesh with the honey. So that's what happened with this video. Like the Celeb Imagine video was terrible. It was terrible on its own. But then it became a national rallying point where everybody on Twitter, whoever the fuck, had to make their own parody video of it. I'm like, oh man, don't you understand? This is just as bad as those fuckheads. Because in my head, I actually went, I wonder if there's anything to mine out of this. Is there something funny? Like, is there a thing? Because again, that's the first thing I think of usually now is what's funny here? What can I do? Is there something I can make about this? Because that's, unfortunately, we've all been trained to be content machines going forward. But that's what I felt. And then I went, this is already, it's going to be fucking hacked by the morning. And it was. Every fucking LA comedian, because then I saw this one where they did Disturbed's Down with the Sickness. I saw someone doing Papa Roach's Last Resort. They all pick different songs, whatever that, and you're just like, okay, great. You're ostensibly making fun of the celebrities, but at the same time, you're still doing the same thing they did. Just you don't think that you are saving the world. You think you're being funny and cool by dunking on the celebs. It's the same fucking instinct. It's just yours comes from a place of snark rather than those people coming from a place of fucking weird ass privilege of having so much fucking money. They think people can't go 5 seconds without fucking seeing them. Let me tell you, when the celebrities do a video, all they're doing is they're saying to you plebs, they're saying to you lower classes, they're saying that they get you. They understand that you couldn't possibly get through this. There's no way any of you out there ever envisioned a global pandemic without hearing a warbling off-key Natalie Portman doing some chunk of Imagine. That's it. Because oftentimes I've had the thoughts of a global pandemic. I'm like, fuck, what if this SARS comes? What if this bird flu fucking destroys us? What if something happens that emerges from a lab, a bioweapon, or a fucking whatever the fuck, some germ gets airborne and kills the shit out of us, right? I couldn't possibly think about suffering through that. I couldn't hide myself away. Hey, you've got to hide yourself away. Hey, why don't we do that? Let's do that fucking song. Let's make a parody of that. Yes, let's get the celebs to do that. Hey, you've got to hide. Shut up. Not everything has to be content. Take it from a guy who does nothing but churn out content and has for 13 years and has been a stand-up comedian for 30. Not everything has to be said or be content. And if I'm telling you that not everything has to be said, you know it's something to believe. So, it's a weird time for all of us, man. It just is. I lost it on my brother. Everybody's finding that, they're trying to emerge from their quarantines and keep everybody's attention because, like I said, man, when 9/11 happened, I really thought it was going to change the world. I wasn't sure how, but I thought things would be forever different. I actually thought it would change it for the better. I was wrong. I haven't got a feel for this yet. I can't say, well, this is going to change the world forever, or it's going to change it for the better, or all these good things, because I think that there were so many bad things kind of happening before this, that you were just kind of like constantly ducking as things came sailing at your fucking head. Literally, we're like, this whole country now is George Bush at a podium. And there's just dozens of Iraqis lobbing shoes at us, and we keep ducking. And this one finally hit us. This one hit us right in the fucking forehead. And we're a little dazed. We don't know what to make of it yet. But I will tell you this. I know that I'm lucky, which will sound ridiculous probably, but look, man, I'm alive. We're alive. That's a good thing in my book. I know there are other people who would argue that, who have other opinions. There are people in pain. There are people with friends in pain, and I recognize that it's not good. It's just not. But last week was another week where I was reminded just how lucky I am. Because, I joke around about these people doing puppet shows and asking for dimes online and looking for attention, and I'm a guy who's lucky enough to have all that. I have attention. I have people who reward me and pay me for my work. People who are kind enough to think of me in times when they could be thinking solely of themselves. I told you last week it was a weird time and I didn't know what was going to happen. And I own it. My lifestyle has not led itself to having a fucking 401k or a bunch of shit in fucking savings or whatever. I've had periods of stability, and then I've had the other. I've had periods where I didn't know what was going to happen. And what's really funny is this week I was like, well, I don't know if people want to hear me do a show. I don't know if they want to hear me talk about what's going on because they're getting this kind of stuff from all over the goddamn place. But, and so then I was like, well, maybe I'll throw up a show. Cause I like to go back in the archives and pick a show from that week. I'm like, well, I wonder what show ran this week that I could go ahead and find. And I think you know where this is going. I looked back into, I went back and I was sorting through like this week in March. And hey, how you doing? What's funny is the show that actually has received the most attention the show that I've done that has received absolutely the most attention was from this week, this time period, from last week's show to this week's show. But I wouldn't call it a greatest hit. So I wasn't going to throw up that show. I was like, cause it made me laugh. Cause look, I won't lie to you, man. This is always a weird week anyway. I've kind of, with the world doing what it's doing at this point, it kind of took my head off of all that shit. You know what I mean? It's, I think I've told you this before. Like I'll never forget the day my father died because I can't. It's entwined with it's the day before my birthday. So I can never forget it. But I don't remember his birthday anymore. I mean, I know when it is, but it's not one of these things where like I see it coming and then it arrives. And there's been times where I don't even remember it until the day after now. It just doesn't, it's not a meaningful date in my life. because even though his ghost is a meaningful presence in my life, he never was. He wasn't important enough to me to remember that sort of thing and memorialize. But his absence is certain. His absence is larger in my life than he ever was. But that date gets consumed. Like the only reason I think of it now is because that's a week away from from Lenny's birthday. You know, these dates drift in and out, and you know, this week it's funny because the days that the day I met Karen and the day Karen left me are within one day of one another, and then my ex's birthday is 3 days after that. So it's a weird 5-day period. And it just so happened that this year it came in the middle of grocery store Olympics as everybody's fighting over the last fucking stalk of celery. And it kind of snuck up on me, right? Because usually I've been brooding about it and thinking about it. And I wonder if that's healthy now that I didn't see it coming. I got blindsided by it this year. I didn't see the day Karen left, or the day I met Karen, or the day the show came out. Thanks to Facebook, I'll never forget it. But it just, that's how I found out, was Facebook reminded me. I didn't. It was a thing where it wasn't this milestone where I didn't see it coming. And then the same thing, with my ex's birthday, where I gave her the greatest tribute you can give a narcissist on her birthday. I jerked off to her, so good for her. But those days, please say, I'm kidding. Or am I? These days, this week I considered possibly putting up an older show, and then I was just like, that was the show that, that's the dominant show of this. It was episode, it was in year 4. The show almost. And so I was like, well, I can't do that. But I can do a show. But, I talked last week about how I didn't know. It was a weird time, and I didn't know how I was going to be dealing with the future and what was going to happen. And I said, look, this is, if you want to support the show, this is a really good time, because, it was a coin flip last week. And I'm incredibly lucky because a bunch of you out there stepped up and were very nice, and you've put me on a decent footing, at least for March, and nobody gives a fuck. I'm not like, boo-hoo, April. I'm not. I'm just saying, I want to acknowledge some people here who, because I actually, and then also I thought to myself, I'm like, well, I should do a show about the things I love, right? Nobody wants to hear about this virus. Talk about what you love. And then I was like, well, I don't plan. I mean, I could have planned a show. I could have written it out. I mean, I can't say I don't do that. It's just, I just talk. So, thanks to, I'm going to name some names here, and I don't know if they want me to say their last names, but you know what? I'm going to say their last names because I love them, and I hope they understand that I say their last names. So then if you guys want to go, that's pretty cool, and tell them that, then that's great. But, our friend in Canada, I love Tanya Shubali. Her and her husband, Mike, have always been incredibly supportive and wonderful. And, she sent me a nice gift, this week. Matt Henshaw, of course, with his Jenny and his roomie, he always sends me a Christmas gift, and he sent me something this week. Tim Radke, who I go back and forth with a lot about some things sometimes on Facebook, but the bottom line is he's been here since Never Not Funny, and he's not going anywhere, and neither am I. And I'm happy he's around. I love him, and it makes me happy. Maddie Keltonen. Maddie stepped up and was very nice and sent me a gift. Another. These are names. These are people that have been around for forever. They've just been around for a very long time. And I always say, you guys are friends. More than anything else, you guys are my friends. And these are friends. Tanya, Matt, Tim, Maddie. Eric Price reached out and sent me a gift, and again, unbelievably nice. Fearful Jesuit also, who sponsors this show and didn't have to send something but did, which was, again, unheard of. When I write these people back, well, I'll tell you, our buddy Justin Mantell, who I should be at his house right now, not even joking, because I was supposed to be in Arizona this week. Or not right now, it's fucking Thursday night. I was supposed to be there Wednesday night. But Justin and Mary have welcomed me into their home, and Funchess and Mookie, the dogs, I love them. They pile on top of me. It's just their family away from home. And Justin reached out and did a nice thing, and also Mark Melnick, who reached out and helped, and these were incredibly nice things and gestures that I like I said, I normally write people. And I say, hey, because when people send me something, I'll always go, hey, man, this gesture is completely appreciated, but absolutely unnecessary. Thank you so much for thinking of me. And this time I just wrote people and I said, hey, look, this usually I write this. I go, but I have to tell you that not only is this appreciated, but it was absolutely necessary because I was in some pretty dire straits, and I still am. I'm not going to lie. We all are. We all have uncertain futures between jobs, and now California is on lockdown. Like I got to be honest with you, man. I'm not, I do this show now, and it's funny. Our friend Liana, who's lovely and beautiful, and she's like, you should do YouTube stuff. And I'm like, I know, you're probably right. But it's just like, I listen to the last 20 minutes of the fucking show, and you'll hear me thinking about what I feel about people doing YouTube shit in this time of quarantine. And I know it's silly. I should have been established already. I know. But Tanya and Matt, Tim and Justin, Maddie, Mark, Eric, and Fearful reached out and sent gifts and paid my bills this month. They reached out and I can't express enough, because I think I said last week, I said I got $300 in the bank, and I wasn't kidding. And I'll be honest with you, I still have $300 in the bank, but now I have about a week's worth of food in my kitchen, and my March bills are paid, and it's because of Matt and Tanya and Tim and Justin and Maddie and Mark and Eric and Fearful, and also people who stepped up on Patreon. I want to talk about that as well. We have a Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Mike40YOB, or it might be the 40-year-old boy. Either way, Google Patreon and Mike Schmidt, and you'll find me. The first name I'm going to mention, who stepped up on Patreon? Mark Melnick, doing double duty. Look at Melnick sending me a nice, a very, very thoughtful gift via PayPal, and then also bumping up on Patreon and helping me out in a way, and I appreciate that very much. Jeremy N. on Patreon signed up this past week. Our good friend Michael Caldwell, who then wrote me a note that I have not answered because I wanted to talk about it on the show first, but thank you, Michael. You're amazing. Sabrina Morgan signed up as well to be a new Patreon patron. I can't thank you enough. Alice Dragoon, I'm going to say I'm pronouncing that correctly. Alice has set up a Patreon, and I could not thank her more. And coming out of Houston, our good friend, the lovely Mary Beth Kirk, bumped up. She was already a giver on Patreon, and she bumped up her amount per month, and that helps immeasurably because, I try to be as transparent as possible. My Patreon and my Amazon combined usually cover my rent. And then Twitch and driving and any other thing I can do pays for the rest of my bills. Now my bills are, I've had to cancel Shannon. I've had to cancel John training. Because John's in the same boat I am. I mean, that guy's a personal fucking trainer. People are falling out on him all over the fucking place. And he and I we had to sit down and have a long conversation. And I was like, look, if I had the money, I'd be here all the fucking time. You know that, just for me and for him. But I can't do it right now. I just can't. So now I have to marshal the strength and the fucking wherewithal to get out of the house and go run in a park. Holy fuck, I don't want to run in a park. But I got to do it. I've made so much progress in the first 6 weeks of the year, and I think I've backslid now, and I need to grab the fucking reins on that. And I made a joke where I talked about how, I'm trying to get back on stage and do these things, and a global pandemic shows up. Like it's so odd to me that the things I needed to do, to go to the gym, to lose weight, to get back into shape, to go out and start doing open mics and start going to bars and start doing shows, to travel overseas and start doing shows overseas. It's just this perfect storm where I think my good intentions somehow brought forth the wrath of the gods or whoever the fuck's in charge of it. And they went, nah, you know what? We're going to shut that shit down post haste. You are best enjoyed from a fucking distance. And I guess I can't argue with that. So you're stuck with me here. Ireland has been postponed, and getting out to do shows. I don't know, man. My whole industry is changing. But I think I think I have a leg up. And the only reason is whoever's hearing this voice. Anybody who's ever laughed at anything I've ever said, anybody who ever has listened or downloaded, anybody who's ever told a friend or shared this show with anybody, you make it possible for me to do the thing that I do. And now more than ever, I have to do that thing. And I have to do it better. I have to do it as well as I possibly can. And I have to try to get new people to listen. And I'm ill-equipped for that because I don't even like telling you guys about it sometimes. But I'm going to fucking do it because I got no choice. I'm sitting in my fucking apartment. What the fuck else am I going to do? I can't drive anybody. Uber drivers are making $5 an hour out here. It's not a joke. They've shut everything fucking down. So when I laugh and I joke and I say a global pandemic has kept me from doing these shows or kept me from going overseas or kept me, well, maybe instead of keeping me from doing the things I wanted to do in the year of I will, it is instead forcing me to have a laser focus and do the things I said I would do during the year of I will. I don't know. It's a good way to spin it. But if you ask Matt and Tanya and Tim and Justin and Maddie and Mark and Eric and Fearful and Jeremy and Michael and Sabrina and Alice and Mary Beth and also our friend Kevin, who bumped up his Patreon and hired me to do another cameo because that's another way for me to get money. And if you ask them, they'll tell you that I can spin it any way I want. They just want to see me do it. And they stepped up, and once again, they've done what they can to make it possible. Thank you. I love you guys. You guys can get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40yearoldboy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40yearoldboy. I'm at Instagram and Snapchat at Mike40YOB. Guess here's something that happened. Our great friend Liana. I've downloaded TikTok. I'm Mike40YOB on TikTok now. I haven't done anything. I don't know what to do. Again, I'm just waiting for the authorities to come and arrest an old man for having these apps on his phone. But I'm on there. So now Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, I am Mike40YOB. You can find me on there, friend me, whatever you need to do. Again, I still don't know what TikTok, how to do it. I haven't looked. But again, we're locked in a fucking house. Why wouldn't we do it? I should get a puppet. So what are we doing? Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all those things. Oh, our good friend Ryan Dirks does the web stuff for the show. Find him at Facebook.com/Ryan Dirks. He's out there doing cool ass stuff, probably hiding in a house or a barn, just like I am. And our buddy David Mex Hernandez. He is the guy who does all the artwork and the music for this show. And we're lucky to have him. I don't know if he's sequestered yet. I don't know what they're doing in Illinois, if they've locked everybody up, but even he doesn't fucking care. He's been locked up forever. To him, it's quaint when they're like, hey, you guys, you shouldn't go out of your house. You know what? As a matter of fact, we're making it a law that you can't go out of your house. And Mex is like, way fucking ahead of you, man. But he's home now. You can find him at Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez and be his friend there. And then he's got a group. Well, first of all, go when you become his friend at Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez, go look at all of his photos. You'll see a bunch of artwork he's done for my page. He's done artwork for the Westside 86 Jokers fan club page. That's the Mike Schmidt fan club page because people are nice. You'll just see all of the work he's done. It's been fucking incredible. And also, he's got his own group on Facebook called This Is Dumb, That's Dumb, You're Dumb, I'm Dumb. If you want to join that, you go ahead and ask to do so. It's a closed group, so they'll send you some questions. You answer those, hopefully in a nice, respectful fashion. And then be allowed into the group, and you'll get to see all sorts of memes running rampant, and you'll get smited. And there's like, I think there's a Jesus there. I know there's a sentient refrigerator. There's a chick with her nipples out. There's all sorts of amazing people. Rotten Mouth Rick is there. He's got his fucking teeth falling out. There's a mummy. It's a passel of characters, ladies and gentlemen. You want to see all of them? Go ahead and join the group. This is dumb, that's dumb, you're dumb, I'm dumb. And when you see all this artwork on that page, you see the artwork on my page, see the artwork on the Joker's page, see the artwork on Mex's page, you think to yourself, man, I want to hire this fucking guy to do something for me. He should be doing some artwork for me. That's what I need. I need some fucking artwork. Stat. I said strat. I need some strat artwork. Stradivarius. I need some artwork stat from this fellow. Well, then what you want to do is you want to hire him to do that. He can do your Facebook caricatures. He can paint you, your dogs, whatever the fuck you want painted. This is a guy who gets it done, man. You'll contact him through his Facebook page. Like I said, become his friend. Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez. And then you'll write him a note and go, I need you to do this. Now, I'll tell you what. You see the stuff he does for my fan club page. You see what he's done for my page. You see what he's done for his private group. But if you want to see some other stuff that he's done in a corporate type of atmosphere, other cool stuff he's done, you'll want to go to his website. And I know you're thinking to yourself, hold on, I'm yawning. You're thinking, why would I want to go to his website? Fuck you, that's why. Go to his website, man. Artbydmh.com. That's ARTBYDMH.com.
All our times have come here, but now they're gone. Seasons don't fear the reaper, nor do the wind and the sun or the rain. We can be like they are. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Baby, take my hand. Don't fear the reaper, we'll be able to fly. Don't fear the reaper, baby, I'm your man. La 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 la. La 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 la. Valentine is done here, but now they're gone. Romeo and Juliet are together in eternity. 40,000 men and women every day. 40,000 men and women every day. Another 40,000 coming every day. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Baby, take my hand. Don't fear the reaper, we'll be able to fly. Don't fear the reaper, baby, I'm your man. La 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 la. La 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 la. Love of two is one. Here, but now they're gone. Came the last night of sadness, and it was clear she couldn't go on. The door was open and the wind appeared. The candles blew and then disappeared. The curtains flew and then he appeared. Don't be afraid, come on, baby. She had no fear. She ran to him. They looked backward and said goodbye. She had taken his hand. She had become like they are. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. La 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 la.
Man, I love that version of that song. So nice, I had to play it twice in a row, 2 weeks in a row. Our great friend David Hernandez. Yeah, it was funny. He sent it to me last week and he wanted me to open the show with it, but I thought tonally it worked better in the middle, and now we're doing it again in the middle because that's where I like it. I like it there, friends. And it's just because part of me was like, maybe I should make this the theme song every week until everything's okay again. But I think that's kind of a leap. And also, I love the Year 12 theme song. I love the fucking just the sirens. I love all of it. All right, hi. So here's something I forgot to mention. I was disillusioned. You know, it happens. I'm sure you guys are doing it too. We'll have these moments during this, whatever you want to call it, crisis or where you'll see somebody do something stupid, or you just wind up thinking to yourself, God, this is awful, or even social media, or the way the government's behaving, and look, I was bummed, man. Like, I was supposed to go to Ireland, that got scotched. I had tickets to see Pearl Jam, 2 shows, and that got canceled. I was going to Vegas, or not Vegas. Where was I going? Arizona. March Madness got canceled. Like, football's fucked. I mean, it's just this weird thing. Like, a lot of things that I love and enjoy are gone. I'm sure you're getting the same thing. And then I walked out of the house on Sunday. Like, I was in the house, hunkered down. It's dark, blinds closed and shit. And I took a shower and I opened the door and I went to walk outside. There's an Amazon box outside of my door. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I didn't think I ordered anything. I'm like, what could this be? I bring it in and I open it up. It's heavy as fuck too. I get it in the house and I open it up and it's a case of water. This is last Sunday, I should say. It wasn't Monday. I don't think it was Sunday. But someone heard the show on Friday or Saturday and had Amazon send me a case of water. I don't know who it was because there was no card or note inside, just a box with a case of water. So when I mentioned everybody who gave me gifts and stepped up on Patreon and financially sent me things and were unbelievably kind, man, that water started it off. Like, I teared up. I just did, because it was this thing where I walked outside. It had been raining for like 3 days here in LA. And I walked outside and I saw the box. I opened it up. It's a case of water, and it was just gorgeous outside. It was like 68 degrees, and it smelled so good because it had been raining for days. So it smelled fresh, and there was a tiny bit of a breeze that had a little chill in the air and hit you in the face, but it was also warm enough to where it was beauty. It was spring is what it was. It was just absolute spring. And seeing that case of water was hope. In addition to stepping outside and the water and the weather, but opening that thing, it was hope. It made me go, oh man, And then people started flooding in. I get notices in my inbox that people were being nice and generous and kind, and man. So you guys are the best. Thank you. And whoever sent me the water, you are also cool. And I thank you so much. And all that water is still in my fridge right now. Actually, half the case is in my fridge because it's these tall bottles of Core. They don't fit standing up. I have to lay them down, and because I'm not going to the gym or anything, I don't need to bring them out. So I'm drinking a lot of tap water, doing what I can. Because also, like, I'm a poor dude, man. I was poor as a kid, so I always have fucking 30 rolls of toilet paper and 10 rolls of paper towels and fucking 4 boxes of Kleenex and baby wipes. I have all sorts of shit in my house. So paper products, I don't even go down those aisles because I know it's going to be a fucking futile gesture anyway, but I don't need it because I stock up. I've got I have 7 speed sticks. I got a bunch of toothpaste. Because I think I said even more important to me than food was hygiene. Whenever I got any money, I buy like 5 things of hair gel or pomade, because there's that scene in The Gone with the Wind where she's like, I will never, as God is my witness, I will never go hungry again. Well, as God is my witness, I will never be disheveled again. My hair will always be in place. I will always look good. When you're a fat guy, you gotta make sure you look good, your hair and everything else, because otherwise you're just like, because as I've said many times before, what's the word that comes after fat? Either it's ass or slob. Literally fat ass or fat slob. And that shit I heard growing up from kids in 5th grade or whatever the fuck, being dicks. And in my head, I was like, never. No, I'm not that dude. I mean, I wouldn't go to school. Like in middle school, If I couldn't wash my hair, I wouldn't go to school. I washed my hair in the sink all the fucking time. Even if I couldn't take a shower, I would not, because I was not going to be gross. I wasn't going to be a slob. And it stuck with me. So I always have at the ready tons and tons of pomade and hair gel, and I've got fucking 20 bars of soap, and I will, as God is my witness, I will never be disheveled again. So sending me that water, man, that was really nice. So thank you, whoever that was. I do appreciate you thinking of me and doing that sort of thing. And let's talk about this. Who wants to drive for Uber or Lyft? Nobody. Honestly, because they're shut down all over the fucking place. I'll give you the codes anyway in case something happens. Lyft is Mike720057. Uber is DJZW1YTTUE. If you get the opportunity to use either of those codes, go ahead, because it gets me a little taste, and I appreciate you thinking of me. Thank you so much. We have the Twitch channel, and I've been streaming quite a bit on Twitch. Twitch.tv/the40year-old-boy, or just Google Twitch and Mike Schmidt. You'll find me. I'm playing The Witcher like all the time. If you have requests for games, I'm willing to do that. I need to start kind of advertising this on public or on social media so people come and watch. In addition to the regulars, very cool people always come and hang out, and that makes me happy. The stream rarely starts until Kiki puts her eyeballs in there, and that makes me happy. But, everybody out there, the Princess Anzil and fucking Radio Rob and Travis, and we have this fucking gang, Michael. I mean, all these people who come in and hang out. The Blue Screen Bake Monster is there, Joey. Blue Torty, she shows up. It's just really nice, and I'm very happy. Scott in Canada, he's always there. Paul Miranda, there's a ton of people who show up that are regulars that always kind of pop in and say hi. Christy, our friend Christy. I know I'm going to forget somebody and they're going to be mad at me, but there are people who Secret Asian Ken and Tresha, like all these people who have supported from the beginning, and they pop in to say hi. And usually if I go on, I know that at least 5 of them are going to show up. And then we get, some stragglers in there. We get 10 people. Sometimes we get more. It's a fun community. So go to twitch.tv/the40year-old-boy. Follow or subscribe to the channel. And, Jeremy, our buddy Jeremy, who is, of course, one of the CEOs of Emerald Alawadi LLC, along with Ahmad. Jeremy pops in. Manny Mo is there as well. Everybody's very nice. They subscribe with their Amazon Twitch, or they give gifts or tier 1 subscriptions. That's another way for me to make money. And you're very nice to... in this fucking, all these side hustles upon side hustles. I get it. I know. But I'll stream for like 3 hours, play a game. I try to be as funny as I can. I engage with the stream. Come and hang out. It's fun. I'd like to have you there. That's really cool. We have sponsors for this show. The Knife Drop Podcast, of course, does so. Our buddy, Rob Matsushita has the Knife Drop Podcast available at Anchor or Podbay or Stitcher. And by the way, that's another thing. Michael Moore in all of his, folks, this is what can only be described as a tragedy of epic proportions. Millions will die globally, if not in this country alone. By the way, this podcast is brought to you by Anchor. They make it easy for you to podcast yourself at your house. Anchor, the people who bring podcasting to you. This disease is insidious. And no, I'm not talking about the coronavirus. I'm talking about the Trump administration. If there's any way we can find a cure for either, at this point, I think I would prefer to find a cure for the Trump administration. Coronavirus, I understand. The other, I don't. But I understand that Anchor allows you the chance to do your own podcasting from your house. Right now, anytime, go to Anchor.com and sign up for your own show. And then you too can share your concerns with the world. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. And then a theme song. He has a theme song. Again, I don't mean to be that guy, but Michael Moore literally he's got a theme song, and he's like, hey, Michael Moore, Rumble Podcast, we are in a global emergency. Well, yes, but you still played that swinging jazz intro. Da 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 dee da 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 da. Rumble Podcast, we're all dead. I don't even know what I was telling you, but Anchor, our buddy Rob Matsushita, his show, The Knife Drop Podcast, available at Anchor, Stitcher, and Podbay. You'll find it there. And our good friend, Fearful Jesuit, the Paranoid Strain Podcast, available now in the iTunes Store. Now, I know what you're thinking to yourself, Mike. There's a show about reality and whether reality is real, and then Philip K. Dick and all the self-consciousness things and all. It's fucking amazing. It's a 2-part extravaganza, 6 fucking hours of brilliance back to fucking back, right? And I'm like, yes, I'm here to tell you yes, but now. What? Yes, there's new Paranoid Strain out there. Now, I haven't had a chance to listen because, as you've heard, I'm going to the store and fighting with people over grapes, but... just today, I was informed that there's a new episode of the podcast, and guess what this is about? Guess, just guess. I'll give you a hint. It might be one of the most global pandemics to ever destroy this. Okay, enough, Michael. It's about the coronavirus and about conspiracies and the like. And it gets to the bottom of a lot of things. It's available right now. The Paranoid Strain podcast is available in the iTunes store. You can download this, please. But I say, don't just download the coronavirus episode. Subscribe to the show. Leave a review in the iTunes store. Mention you saw the show or you heard about it from us. That could only help. You want to contact Fearful? ParanoidStrain@gmail.com. That's ParanoidStrain@gmail.com. Write him a note and tell him that you want to get on board with the show. You want to tell him you love it. You love everything that he and Dana do, and listen to the coronavirus fucking conspiracy theories. It's out there. Look, the truth is out there, folks. I believe it was Mulder and Scully who told us the truth is out there. What they didn't realize was that Fearful Jesuit was going to bring it to us on a goddamn silver audio platter. It's available right now in the iTunes store. Paranoid Strain Podcast. Subscribe today. Download all the most recent episodes. Listen to that coronavirus episode as you're... And what the fuck else are you doing? You're sitting in your house. You're listening to my nonsense. By all means, go ahead and listen to the Paranoid Strain. It's also great. It's available for you now. On Cameo, you can book me. As I mentioned, our friend Kevin has booked me for a cameo. You can also book me for a cameo if you would. And we're all in the house. I'll let me call your neighbor and tell him to turn his stereo down or stop cooking disgusting fish dishes that bleed into your apartment. Or I'll call your neighbors and say, hey, you want to come over for like a swing party? Who's Polly? I'm here to tell you that your neighbors are poly and they want to be in a throuple with you. I can do that for you. Whatever you want me to do, I can fucking do it. Don't you understand, man? I'm a necromancer of goddamn phone messages, available right there at Cameo. It's the Book Cameo app. You can get it on your phone, the Cameo app, or you can go to bookcameo.com, I think it is, and then find my name, Mike Schmidt. Hire me to do whatever the fuck you need me to do. If you said, you know what, Schmitty, film yourself cooking a can of soup during your quarantine, I'd happily do it. I would send somebody a video of me making soup because I went and bought 5 cans of soup yesterday. 2 chunky sirloin pot roast burger, pot roast. And then 3 Progresso chickeny noodles because all the chickeny noodles were gone. I like chickeny noodle better than anything. And then pot pies. I've been eating some, which as we all know, Jimmy Pardo will tell you is soup of the roof. I bought a chicken Parmesan one. I bought what was the other one I bought? I bought a beef one, just beef. Didn't have a fucking guest star. Chicken can't run on its own. It's got to bring Parmesan to go ahead and sell it. Beef's like, fuck you, I'm beef. And it sold me. Closed the deal. I had those 2 pot pies, and then I had a shepherd's pie, which was a mess. That fucking thing was just hot. Like literally, my buddy was like, how was it? I go, it was warm. That's what I wanted. It made my house smell like dinner, and then I scooped it up and swallowed it because it was all warm. That's it. I just wanted warm, stick to your ribs type of food. But like I said, I got about a week's worth of food in my house now. I got a couple of bags of ravioli. I got 5 cans of soup. I got some fresh cucumbers. I got some bacon. There's no eggs yet. I want to get some eggs. But yeah, man, this stuff all exists. It's all in my kitchen right now. I got half a tank of gas and a week's worth of food. $250 in the bank. I can't wait to see what happens next. But if you want to hire me for a cameo, which you should, go ahead and book a cameo thing. If you want, so I'll make soup or I'll make bacon or I'll do whatever the fuck you want. This is what I do now. All right. I can't drive strangers around. I got to make phone calls to strangers. My whole life still involves strangers. I know what you're thinking. Don't talk to strangers, but I don't give a fuck. I have to. The Amazon link exists. Now, this is a big deal, too, because we're all ordering from Amazon in this time of crisis as Jeff Bezos takes over the world. You don't think with this stock, all the stock prices falling, Bezos isn't out there buying up Boeing and every other fucking company? That guy's going to own fucking everything. If you're like a Mike Bloomberg and you see shit falling precipitously off a goddamn cliff, don't you buy all that stock? And then when it all goes rocketing to the top again, you're like, hey, I run this company. Everybody's get the fuck out. This is my thing. Because that's what billionaires do. They buy stock and sit around and they wear comfortable shoes. Fuck them, man, right? Fuck billionaires buying stock and wearing shirts with no ties sometimes. Go wear a tie. If you're a fucking billionaire, wear a fucking tie. Show some respect for the pile of money the Joker's going to set on fire when he fucking finally catches up to you assholes. All right. So the point is, Jeff Bezos is not one of those guys. No, he's great because he likes me. And we have an Amazon link. If you go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com, you go to the merchandise page, which, as we all know, used to be the Joe Business page, but it's out there. It's lurking and waiting for you to go ahead and sign up for. There's an Amazon link on there. And look, like I said, we're buying things from Amazon anyway. So you go to my page. It costs you nothing but 10 seconds of finding it. And then you click on the Amazon link, and now you're shopping, and we get a taste of it. We actually get some of that dough, which I don't know if I've stressed this enough during this show and last week's show, is very important. As our friend Burt Reynolds said in Boogie Nights, under the guise of being Jack Horner, film producer, director, the Colonel puts up all the money for the films. It's a very important part of the process. Well, guess what? You guys are the fucking Colonel, and I'm Jack Horner, man, and I'm shooting fucking porn for you guys every goddamn week. So you got to Colonel it up. Just do me a favor. Ditch any photographs you might have of young children so you don't get slapped in the face at the end of this movie. The Amazon link is there. It's on the MikeSchmidtComedy.com merchandise page. Click on it and shop. Makes me happy. And I appreciate you thinking of me. It's super cool. And as I told you, Twitch exists. Go ahead and do that. And again, another shout out. I'll just tell you, I'll close this all by telling you, fucking the Patreon page is a big deal. Thank you so much for thinking of me and getting involved in the Patreon page. Anybody who signed up, I appreciate it very much. Anybody who bumped up their thing, and that's out there, patreon.com, and you look for Mike 40 or Mike Forder. Well, is it Mike Schmidt or the 40-year-old boy? I don't fucking know. Just Google it. Go find Patreon and then find me there and go, yeah, that guy's the best. And I appreciate you Patreon people. I appreciate you PayPal people. You can still do PayPal if you want. If you don't want to do Patreon, you can do PayPal. It's in the upper left-hand corner of every page of my website. I don't mean to constantly have hat in hand. And I know you're thinking, hey, Mike, buy a fucking puppet. Yes, I get it. You're right. But I need you. And it's nice of you guys to have included me in your life at this point. And I'm glad again for Matt and Tanya, Tim and Justin, Maddie, Mark, Eric, Fearful, and Mark doing double duty. As I mentioned, Jeremy, Michael, Sabrina, Kevin, Alice, Mary Beth, everybody for thinking of me last week and putting gas in my car and allowing me to have some money to get some food. And as I said last week, I'm ashamed of myself that I even need $80. You know what I mean? That $80 means a lot to me, but it does. And $80 means a lot to a lot of people out there, I'm sure. Take care of yourselves, please. Take care of your families. Take care of everybody's home with their kids. And there are people who are taking it in stride, and there are people who are really freaking out, and there are people who are kind of right in the center, and I'm trying to be that guy in the center, but there are times when I sit and I think. And I think about, I tried to get a job at Amazon. I did, but they have no jobs in Southern California. All their jobs are up north, and they're all warehouse jobs because I was hoping I could drive. But I don't think that I don't think about the people in Amazon who work in the warehouse, and maybe one of them is sick, but he keeps coming to work because he needs to work, and he's packing boxes and he's sending out products. There was a movie called Food of the Gods. And it was I forget what it was, but there was some ridiculous, of course, a chemical spill that got into some feed, and animals ate it. Marjo Gortner's in it. It's a terrible movie. But then like giant cows happened and big bees. Like anybody who ate the stuff, they wound up getting big, and so they had to fucking kill these animals and then stop it in its tracks. But at the end of that movie, there's a spill and they think they got it all, but then they realize there's one container they didn't, and it spills into a local river. And then they show the river flow downstream, and it shows kids swimming in it, and then it shows kids drinking out of water fountains or whatever the fuck. And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. And that's the end of the movie. Or like the end of Return of the Living Dead, when the chemical goes into the sky and then it rains on the graveyard, and you just see people come crawling out of the fucking graves. I mean, it's just, we've lived with this sort of thing fucking forever. And so we don't know where this is going to go. And I recognize where you try to maintain an even keel and be in the middle. But when I think of Amazon and those people, I think of mailmen, postal workers who are delivering your mail. You're still, even though we're quarantining ourselves, we're still coming in contact, and we still don't have any real idea of what this is. They're working very hard to find out. But we just don't have the answers we need right now. And that's scary as fuck for all of you, for me, for everybody. The key, though, is to try to be as much of on an even keel as you possibly can. But also, like I said, I think to myself, I go to these grocery stores to buy stuff, and there are people in masks and jostling one another to get a fucking package of goddamn Ritz crackers, and all that's fine. But I mean, I watched in the store, I saw people pick up a tomato and it wasn't ripe enough and they put it down. Or someone pick up an avocado and it wasn't ripe enough and they put it down. Or someone pick up a package of spaghetti, gluten-free lentil spaghetti, and then go, nah, and they put it back on the shelf. And I mean, the chicken Parmesan pot pie I bought looked like someone had used it in a soccer game. I mean, it was beat to shit. It was the last one, but I grabbed it because I was like, fuck this. I'm going to bring this home. And it's easy to cook and there's no meat. So what the fuck? I'll get some protein out of this goddamn thing. But I think of the people touching everything. And I think of all of us every single day touching everything, whether we're in our homes or not. You go shopping, go to pump gas, you see people using the debit pad at the grocery line, playing with a credit card and punching in their PIN, and you're just like, people have been touching that all fucking day, right? I mean, it's just, and so I don't know. None of us know what the future holds. But you're very nice to step up and consider me and think of me and do what you can to help me, and it makes me happy. But God damn it, take care of yourselves. Look out for your families. Look out for your kids. Take care of everybody, and anybody who needs it. Your neighbors, grandparents, aunts, fucking everybody, man. Because you don't know what's inside people. You don't know who's worried, who's super worried. Because a lot of people put up a brave front. They try to pretend it's okay. I mean, look, if people are being ignorant assholes, then you can just fucking... Here's the thing. Don't argue. Don't argue with anybody who's like, oh, it's fake, or it's the Chinese virus, or it came here, it's a bioweapon. Don't argue with those fucking people. Literally, they're not worth your time or your energy. Turn your back on them like Freddy Krueger and watch them fall apart and fall out of your life, and they're not something that you need to worry about anymore. Concern yourselves with the people you love. Concern yourselves with the people who engage honestly, and concern yourselves with people who want to make a difference, man. There's that famous quote, look for the helpers. Well, you know what? Don't just look for the helpers. Be a helper. Go check on somebody. Text somebody you haven't heard from. I texted my friend Suzanne. Suze! I texted her today, and I wrote, I'm ashamed that it's taken me this long. She works in an ER. I said, how you holding up? And she's like, well, I haven't been in the respiratory part yet. We're portioning people over to certain parts of the hospital, but it's a zoo. It's a madhouse. You talk to anybody who works in that environment, and they'll tell you it's not good or easy work. It's very difficult. And so reach out, to anybody. When you're at the supermarket, like I find the manager, I tell him, hey, look, man, everybody's holding up really well. Everybody's doing a great job. Do whatever you can to show as much kindness as you can to people during this time, because we don't know. None of us know. None of us know what's going to happen. There's no reason to get mad or angry. Look, get mad at the right people. You want to get mad at fucking Congress people who are selling stock instead of telling their fucking constituents that this is dangerous, telling them that not to panic and it's a Democratic hoax, then they sell their fucking stuff off. Then those people should get the fucking guillotine. And then they come up with their fucking mealy-mouthed apologies where like, well, what you don't understand is, and fuck you, I don't have to understand a fucking thing. You made $2 million off this fucking thing. And then you also didn't tell anybody because you told everybody it was a fucking hoax, but you went out and sold your shit. And then that one woman bought fucking telecommuting fucking stocks. What the fuck, man? What is wrong? That's the thing. These fucking pigs, that's what they are. They're pigs at a trough, and they have seen from the top of the fucking food chain on down, people get away with grifting and stealing, and they were like, well, why the fuck can't we? And it's been going on fucking forever. And you see them doing, so it's good to get mad at them. So don't get mad at a grocery store worker. Don't get mad at somebody who cuts you off in traffic, or don't get mad at somebody who took the last fucking bottle of Blueberry or whatever the fuck, or is Blueberry in a bottle now, a box? Get mad at these assholes who are fucking lying to us, but also, fuck mad. Love your family, love yourself, be as happy as you fucking can. There's so much anger and so much resentment and so much being upset. We just need to...
there's anything I like more than me, it's people who like me. I love me, but if you love me, I love you. 'Cause you know why, we both love me. How great am I? Let's talk about that for a while, and by a while, I mean forever.
Charlie Doe Podcast.